time flies as I watch days. Hey, y'all. In 2 years. Hey, Fly Lily. Hey, Mr. Goodbar. Hey, Gift from Virgo. Hey, Rod Tarot. Hey, The Thought of It. What's up, Jules? Hey, Diana. Y'all ready for this debate? Mr. Goodbar, I already know how you feel about it. You kind of look like T.I. When you're holding me near, it feels so good to me. Feels like crying. Hey, Indigo. Hey, Karen. Still a thrill. I'm listening to some Jody Watley. Hey, Tiki. So you're a Libra. Are you a light-sided Libra or are you a dark-sided Libra? Okay, Indigo. What's your question? Yeah, me too. Thrill. Still a thrill. Hey, Javion. So we got 18 people so far. Anybody go out tonight? Still kind of early. Just to get, hey, Raven. Feels like the first time. Hey, Hood. What's up? Hey, Siobhan. Your charm still overwhelms me. Tell me, how can it be? You know what, Cameron? I think TLC should have covered this song because T-Boz would have killed this. Because, you know, T-Boz got that same deep voice. Hey, Phyllis. Still a thrill. Hey, Beverly. Yeah, don't you think so? Thrill. Still a thrill. I bet you a lot of people don't even know about this song. Still a Thrill by Jody Watley. Jody Watley is an Aquarius. Siobhan said T.I. is Daddy Dearest. Indigo said, I've been a fan of Jody since Shalabar. Yes, I love me so Shalabar. And you know she started on Soul Train as one of the dancers. Her and who was the other guy? Jeffrey Stewart or Jermaine Stewart? Not Jermaine Stewart. No, Jermaine Stewart was a dancer, but why can't I think of the dude that was in Jeffrey? Is it Jeffrey Daniels? Maybe you know Indigo. Jeffrey Daniels. Okay, thanks, Phyllis. That's what I thought. He could dance. You like the red lipstick, Mr. Goodbar? I'm usually used to that dark lipstick, so this is, you know, kind of different. Yes, he was the original moonwalker. He taught Michael Jackson how to moonwalk. Yup, Howard Hewitt. Then Howard Hewitt had that banging ass solo career after Shalimar. All right, I'm gonna wait till the room fills up more because I want to get some people that are for T.I. up in here. Anybody for T.I.? Anybody think he's doing a good thing? Hey, Tyreek, how you doing? Hey. Hey. Caleb said no. Most of the people been saying, you know, he's crossing the line, but there are some people that are basically defending him and supporting him and saying, you know, oh, he's doing a good thing. He's just being a protective dad. He's making sure that his daughter choose, you know, right and all this stuff. But I don't know. Like, I never really thought of T.I. as dark-sided. I said, hey, what's up? The thought of it. I never really thought about T.I. like being dark-sided, but now with this information coming out that he released himself, I'm really like looking at him like a dark-sided Libra at this point. And the thing that really gets me about Libra men is like they study women. And, you know, Libra deals with the opposite sex. That's why, you know, they're always up women's asses and acting like they know women from their head to their toe. I wouldn't be surprised if T.I. got some gynecology books and all types of stuff in his house. He probably knows about the vajayjay inside and out. But he you know, he's not exactly right with the whole hymen thing, because even the doctor was trying to tell him that, you know, a woman, you know, she may not have her hymen intact because of various reasons. And he was just like, nah, just give me the results. Who else we got? Hey, Diane K. Hood Astral Queen said, I've always felt him to be dark-sided. He puts on this air like he's so intelligent. That's very Libra too. Because Will Smith got that shit with him too. Like, he's always, you know, this intellectual that is giving people this great counsel. Libra is a sign of counseling. Mr. Goodbar said, Tip is a super agent. What's that mean? Thank you, Indigo. Diana said, shaking my head, but he called the vulva a uvula. Okay, see, yeah, he don't know as much as he thinks he does. Wow. Yeah, Kayla, Will Smith, he be trying to act like he is this type of, you know, all-knowing type of character. Mr. Goodbar said, a name says a lot. Tip gives tips. He worked for them people. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I was wondering, was this some agenda? Was it this about some agenda? Somebody says, so the thought of it says, so does Russell Simmons. What about Russell Simmons? Tyreek said, Libra energy makes someone douche acting, I feel like. Cameron said, I fell the fuck out like the church ladies when I heard you. I didn't hear him say that part. Maybe I didn't listen to the whole thing. But I didn't even want to listen to the whole thing because it was disgusting me. Siobhan said, now men are hitting his daughter up. He's a slave master. Put her on the auction block. He sure enough did. Like, why would he put her on blast? And that's what makes me really question, is it about her or is it really about him? And I believe it's really about him. It's about his ego. And that sun conjoined to Saturn in his chart can make him have a hardened ego. Can make him controlling, like I said, but it can also make him have a hardened ego. Hey, Blazer, how you doing? Hood said his daughter is a Gemini sun. What date was she born on? Gemini sun, Sag, Mars. She gonna bust it open sooner or later. He ain't stopping shit, right? And it's like, we gotta understand that, you know, as parents, we don't own our children. Our children come to us, but we don't own them. And especially when they become teenagers and young adults, we owe them the right to privacy. And also, where's the trust? He should be able to trust his daughter to make good decisions. And let's say she does, you know, decide to end her virginity. So what? One thing about me is, like, I don't look at virginity as this precious thing to keep sacred or to basically keep locked down. I mean, I'm like, mostly everybody in the world eventually ends up having sex. I mean, what? It's not a big deal, especially when you turn 18, in my opinion. So Hood Astro says she was born on June 17, 2001. That 17 can deal with where she has issues with her father. Mr. Goodbar said, he is the feds. Her birthday is June 17th, so she's a big freak. That's a slutty number. Trust me on that. I learned from the best. Well, also that could be a person that, you know, has sex for money. Not saying that she would do that, but maybe, you know, she's the type that's going to marry up. She's not going to, you know, really be out for love. She's going to be out for money. Javion said, but when I was growing up as a child, you didn't have to say so. Let me pull her chart real quick. June 17, 2001. Oh, she's still young. So, yeah, that would make her, what, 18? 2001, June 17. I'm just like, why would you embarrass your daughter like that? Obviously, again, it's all about him for him to do that. And I'm asking, like, where is the girl's mother? Hood Astro, do you know where she was born? Atlanta. Okay, thank you. You already said it, Atlanta. Okay, hold up. And I'm thinking we don't have the time, right? More than likely, no. It's all right. But I'm like, where is the girl's mother? And why wasn't Tiny taking her? At least they're going together. I don't like men all wrapped up into women's private issues like that. Call me a traditionalist, blame it on my Capricorn energy. But I don't like that. I'm like, when it comes to feminine issues, that needs to stay in feminine circles, in my opinion. Like, dude, you don't know what she's going through. You don't have what she has. Step the fuck back. That's how, and like, be a father, but you don't have to be all involved like that. Like, to me, a father shouldn't even be comfortable talking about his daughter's hymen. Like, what the fuck? Hey, Mukbang. Hey, Lysandra. Diana said, Tiny has no autonomy in that relationship. What sign is Tiny? Is Tiny a Cancer? The thought of it said, yup, this was done to me. That was done to you. One of your parents was all, checking your hymen. And some people are, oh yeah, she is a Cancer. Makes sense. Because remember what I said? I said Cancer women are basically the bottom bitch of the zodiac. They're going to ride with you till the end. They could put up with a lot of shit and then blame it on, well, it's all about my family. Hey, Akeda. Hey, Sun Kids. So she is a Cancer. What's her birthday? But again, like, I'm not all for like men being all involved in women's feminine issues and stuff. I'm like, step back. Akeda said, I'm gonna check your coochie whether you like it or not. Okay, we got 55 people in here. I'm gonna wait till we get to, hey, my bills, what's up? I'm gonna wait till we get to about 60 before we get into this debate. Because I know some of y'all in here are supporting TI. But my question to you is, if anybody is supporting, my question is, if this wasn't TI, if this was coming from some average Joe on the street, would you still be down with it? And then some people are making an excuse saying, well, mothers have been doing this with their daughters, but I don't even think it's right for mothers to do that with their daughters. Like I said, once the child becomes a teenager, you gotta have some trust in them. You gotta show that, you're going to trust them to a certain degree. And then my thing is, let's say that he takes her to the gynecologist. Thank you, Lysandra. Let's say he does take her to the gynecologist, and then the gynecologist is like, well, her hymen is no longer intact. What is he going to do? What's the punishment? What's the consequences for her losing her virginity before TI is ready? Javion said, I can agree with that, but to say that, then you would have to agree a single woman shouldn't raise a son to teach him how to be a man, which single mothers today is doing. I agree. Like, a mother can't teach her son how to be a man, but sometimes she don't have no choice because the man's not in the woman's life. A lot of fathers just run away. So you really can't say it like that. And basically, it's like, I have a son. So I'm not going to be all, go taking him to the doctor and talking about, can you check his penis to see if any, he got any STDs and all that type of stuff. I'm like, that's just, no. I'm not going to be like, lift your nuts up, let me check your nuts and all this. I'm like, My bill said TI is practicing slave owner, slave trade behavior. And yeah, it's like, is he trying to preserve his daughter's virginity? And that's very that Jupiter in Virgo he has, like the preservation of virginity. Is he trying to preserve her virginity in order for her to be available to the highest bidder? Like, what's up with that? And like, why would you put your daughter's sexual status out there? But again, he's a Libra. And that's what I'm saying. Like, is he a dark-sided Libra? Or is he just an over-concerned father? Because Libra will publicize shit. Cameron said it has nothing to do with parent is raising a child. It's about what's appropriate, inappropriate intimacy between parents and children. I agree. Diane said he's a dusty to himself. He's trying to go sell his daughter's virginity. I'm telling you. Now, there was a YouTuber that was siding with him, and I was quite surprised. I'm not going to mention who it was, but she was basically saying, oh, well, you know, it's about her getting that bag, and T.I. wants her to preserve her virginity so that she can basically get with a billionaire and shit. I'm like, that is so, like, that is just so ridiculous. And yeah, money is good, but just because you get with a billionaire or a multimillionaire does not mean that that man's gonna love you and treat you right. A lot of them billionaires and multimillionaires are crazy as fuck. So it's like, do you really think that you're getting that pot of gold at the rainbow without some catch to it? There's always a catch. I don't care if you get with somebody rich or if you get with somebody poor. There's no guarantee because that person is rich that you're, you know, going to be happy, number one. And that this person is going to respect you and be faithful and all this stuff. So that whole money part to it, that's ridiculous. Cameron said, even a mom checking on her daughter's hymen is nuttier than a shithouse rat. I agree. It's ridiculous. It's a violation of that teenager's privacy. Rendezvous Sunrise says, sleeping with the enemy. Melody says, sounds like an old down south thing. HTH, how you doing? HTH said, if he's going to the OBGYN with his daughter, any adult, shouldn't that doctor stop him at the door? That's what I'm saying. HTH said, I like to interview the professional doctor. Yeah, I do question this doctor, but when you got money like that, that doctor is probably, you know, just doing whatever T.I. wants. Akita said, Dad, stay out of my coochie. Beautifully Broken said, my dad is just like T.I., definitely narcissistic and manipulative to say the least. Okay, we got 64 people in here. So those people that believe that T.I. is crossing the line, that he's engaging in like quasi-narcissistic behavior, that he is being, you know, totally, you know, out of line with taking his daughter to the gynecologist, press 1. If you support what T.I. is doing, press 2. And if you're pressing 1, basically you're saying that T.I. is a Darksided Libra. So basically, let's just put it plain. Is T.I. a Darksided Libra? Press 1. If you feel like he's not a Darksided Libra, he's just an over-concerned father, press 2. I'm pressing 1. Because, like I said, I didn't even look at T.I. as Darksided until this incident. But then again, he was cheating all over Tiny. But some people are saying that they have an open marriage. Is that true? Mr. Goodbar put 3. What are you, undecided? The thought of it put 3. So what's 3? Tyrese said got 99 problems and T.I. is 1. HGA said he's the same birthday as Will Smith. I didn't know that. Hey, Tanya, what's up? Hey, Beautifully Broken. Hey, Danielle. Stay Focused said, to each his own. I feel like T.I. shouldn't went public with that. T.I. is a very controlling person, and the daughter had to sign papers saying the doctor can release information to T.I. Right. Matter of fact, let me look at her chart real quick, because if even at that young age, I would have said no to my father. And me and my father probably wouldn't have been talking for a while. Diana said if they have an open marriage, it's probably because she can't do anything about his cheating. It's too low self-esteem to move on from the relationship. Wasn't she messing with Floyd Mayweather at one point? Cameron said he isn't going to be entitled to her medical information from this point forward anymore. HIPAA protects her now that she's 18, even if he carries her on his insurance. Well, let's hope that she develops a backbone dealing with him. Lysandra said, I've seen a video of him and her walking together and she looks uncomfortable. The daughter, Deja? Gary said, yup, he crossed the line. That's her body. Mr. Goodbar said, 3, I'm with him, but at the same time, he doing too much. 25 is the number of demons, so I don't fuck with him. No way. 25s can be a host for spirits. I won't say not necessarily demons, but sometimes they could be demons. But yes, they can be a host for spirits. And he's a 7 life path. But like I was saying in the video last night, I was like, that could deal with, you know, him not respecting boundaries and him having these wild fantasies. And let's be real, he does have Mars conjoined to Uranus and Scorpio. Number one, that can produce a big time freak that can't be faithful. So it explains why he's in the open marriage. But that can also make him a pervert, especially since he got that Aquarius South Node. Aquarius is the sign of the pervert. Uranus is the planet of the pervert. He got Mars conjoined to Uranus in Scorpio. So my thing is, he probably be concocting these crazy fantasies about his daughter getting gang banged and all types of stuff. And that's why he's so scared, and he goes and takes her to the, matter of fact, there's a few people that I know, and I only know of through like third parties though, that their mothers had Aquarius energy or Uranus was prominent in their chart, and the mothers were kind of perverted, and they would basically blame, like accuse the daughter of doing like some real perverted sick shit and all types of stuff, coming up with the nastiest shit. Like, yeah, I know you was fucking that dog. Like, it just weird. So I feel like he got that same hookup where he be thinking the worst about his daughter. So we got 77 people in here, only 29 likes. Can we get the likes up, please? Hey, Latima. All right, let me look at this girl's chart. First, I want to look at her sun and her Saturn, because that's where TI would come in. 26-degree Gemini, conjoined to Mercury. Father got to know everything that's going on. Let me see, Saturn. Saturn's in Gemini as well. Father being all nosy. Ooh, she got, how about this? This is crazy. Anyway, let me go back. So Gemini can produce incestual relationships, right? And I'm not saying that, you know, that there's incest going on between T.I. and his daughter, but it is interesting that she has Saturn conjoined to her Juno in Gemini. Now that Saturn conjoined to her Juno can deal with where she ends up in an arranged marriage, or where T.I. is really basically picking out her partner, or she could end up seeking a partner that's very much like T.I., that's very controlling, that has to know everything that's going on with her, that's sniffing her panties and all types of stuff, basically accusing her of cheating all the time. So that whole Saturn conjoined to her Juno, that's pretty rough. So she's going to have it really challenging in relationships. And it's starting with her father. But I don't like that conjunction. That's kind of like incestual. But like I said in the video last night, I feel like it's that emotional incestual type of relationship that T.I. has with his daughter, or that he's trying to have with his daughter. John said he's trying to keep her from toxic femininity. God bless him. Being promiscuous isn't female empowered. Nobody's saying that she's promiscuous, though. And just because you lose your virginity does not make you promiscuous. I mean, sex is a natural part of life. Let's be real. And when you become an adult, it's inevitable for most people. What's odd is to be a virgin for like a long time, up until you're 30, even though I know a few people that are virgins in their 30s. And, you know, so be it. I'm just saying that's rare. So it's like, when is it going to be the right time for T.I. to be okay for his daughter to lose her virginity? Is he waiting until she gets married? Is that what it is? And like, what is that going to solve? Just because you preserve your virginity for marriage doesn't mean that you're going to have a good marriage. So what's the point? Like, let's be real. What is the point of preserving your virginity till you get married? It's not going to guarantee that you're going to have a good marriage. It's not going to guarantee that you're going to have a good husband or wife. It's not going to guarantee that you're going to be respected more. Let's be real. And yeah, like Hood Astro Queen said, why isn't he treating his sons the same way? But we need to stop looking at this virginity thing, especially when it comes to women, like this is just some precious thing, and that's what makes a woman honorable. Man, fuck that. It's 2019. Let's be real. Number one, women are just as sexual as men, sometimes even more sexual. So men really need to get off that shit about, oh, women shouldn't be doing this. And I'm not saying, yeah, women need to go out and be hoes. I'm not saying that. But stop acting like this virginity thing is something that's supposed to be all sacred and shit. Now, I can see if you're a Christian or whatever, or, you know, it's part of your religion, but As far as I know, I don't think T.I. is a Christian, is he? Latima said, why is he curious? Is the point. Exactly. Why are you all up in your daughter's business like that? And then you broadcasting on TV. Oh, that Saturn conjoined to Juno, and Gemini also deals with T.I. broadcasting her shit on TV. Kata said T.I. is just a government snitch. Maybe that's true. Dana said, my father is weird like this. Said if he couldn't have my puss, nobody could eat. What? Yo, Dana, for real? Yo, that's sick. That made me look at him as very mentally unstable. Wow. And there are plenty of fathers that lust after their daughters, whether they act on it or not. So I'm one of those people where I keep it real. Lovemore said T.I. is problematic and has always been. And that's the thing. If he is a male chauvinist sexist where he's just running through women like people say, then it's like he's thinking about, oh, my daughter might be coming across these same type of men. Like I said, he's having all these crazy fantasies probably about his daughter getting all, ran through and stuff. And it's like, don't project your shit onto your daughter. Tariq said, I had a weird experience involving my Libra dad in my private areas that I'm not going to get into. God damn. And like I said, Libra is the sign of intervention. So you could look at these Libra parents that do this, like they're always intervening in their child's life and sometimes in the worst way. I also said Libra is a sign of ambushing. So it's like, I wouldn't even be surprised if when his daughter goes out on a date, he's hiding in the bushes somewhere, just ready to jump out if something happens, like if the guy leans too close to her or something. He probably has his daughter followed and shit. But you got to watch those fathers that are extra possessive over their daughters like that. You got to ask why. This is sick, Latima. Lovemore said T.I.'s new pic leak. I wouldn't even want to see him naked. Oh, you could tell his dick is small. You could tell. You could just tell it's all up in the face. He's part of the small dick clan. You Lovemore said, you damn near need a magnifying glass. I could tell. That shit is probably small and burnt looking. I already know what that shit look like. And it probably don't even get fully hard. Maybe that's his problem too, like that his daughter gonna end up with a big dick dude and she gonna end up loving this dude more than her father. Maybe that's part of it too. Little chicken nugget. Ew. He probably don't even grow hair on his balls. He don't even look like he could grow hair. Like even that facial hair is like sparse. That might be part of his problem, that he got a little dick and he's afraid that his daughter gonna find some dude that's really gonna put it on her, and next thing you know, he ain't gonna hear from his daughter for a couple of weeks. Kata says, well, dick clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Rendezvous said he has that Napoleon complex. And what's up with his lip? Did anybody notice it always looked like he got a cold sore on his lip? Maybe not nowadays, but back in the day, I swear he would always have like this cold sore on his lip, like he had herpes or something. Aquarian Essence said, or he has a big dick that can't get hard. Either way is bad. That's a bad situation either way. Yes, I swear he used to have something on his lip. Oh, it's a scar. Okay. Maybe he was picking that herpes bone and left a scar. Speaking of herpes, Tyreek said his face always looks like he's spelling apart. Speaking of herpes, I have discovered that there is a strong correlation between Gemini energy and herpes. I just noticed. Akata said, Apollonia just logged off, no small D. Wait, she was in here? I didn't even see her. Hey, Erica. Hey, Adrian. Melanated Gemini said, virginity is sacred for men and women. Women have to be careful who we invite into our sacred place. I don't agree with the gyno, but we don't know what's going on. But see, that's where I gotta disagree with you, because I don't see virginity as this sacred thing. But I'm also the same type of person that says that kids aren't a blessing. They're a fucking responsibility. Let's be real. Sometimes you might see kids as a blessing, but let's be like, you know, when people just say in general, oh, children are a blessing. I'm like, okay. Some of them children grow up to be hell on wheels. They start off as hell on wheels. I guess I'm just too much of a realist. Cameron said that's such a Capricorn thing to say. It's the truth. Let's be real. And people be having these ideas in their head, fantasies in their head. Oh, I want to have a child. I want to get married. I want to do this. And nobody really be thinking about the bad shit that can happen. And I have to admit, like, when I get into like a relationship, when I meet somebody, I do think about the bad stuff, but then I quickly like brush it off. But then, you know, to really be real, a lot of times in life, you're not going to get exactly what you want. Especially when it comes to children. Like, nobody really be thinking about the bad shit that can happen when you have a child. My Bill said, agreed, kids ain't no blessing. Of course you're going to agree. You got that Capricorn mood too. Right, Adrian? Parenthood is no joke. That's why I'm always counseling my young clients. I'm like, especially if I see some challenging aspects in their charts dealing with children, I'd be like, you better think long and hard before you have a child, because it's no joke. For real, it's no joke. And then it's always like rolling the dice. You never know what you're going to get. And some kids, let's talk about that too. Some kids come out the womb evil. I'm convinced. Do y'all believe that some kids are born evil and then some are made evil? I believe that you have both. I believe, and we could talk about narcissists too. Are some narcissists born, or all narcissists created? I believe some are born, some are created. I've been doing a lot of research on narcissism the past few months, and I've been reading comments of mothers, and some of these mothers have been saying, yeah, my child has been a narc since age 2 or since out the womb. And that let's not forget about all the possible health problems that a child could have and all that stuff. That's why T.I. just better be grateful that he has a daughter that's healthy and she's beautiful and that she's intelligent and that she's going to college. Why are you all up in her cooch? Why don't you be happy that she's, you know, being this productive citizen and she's, you know, growing up to be a fine young woman? Why you got to be all in her, you know, sexual status and stuff? I'm just like, that's just crazy to me. Lilith said people just have evil traits, but they aren't totally evil. See, I like to call a spade a spade. Some people are evil. Like let's be real. I'm like, you may not be 100% evil or 100% dark-sided, but if you're more than 60%, I'm calling you evil. If you tend to make people's life more difficult, or if you're the one causing conflict all the time, if you're a narcissist, you're evil. I don't look at evil as like this spooky thing. Like, there's different grades of evil. Gabrielle Jackson said he is sick. John T.I. is a target for clout chasing dudes. That includes his daughter and heart. Akeda said, I talk to Satan and some people are evil. Yes, look, this world is about good and evil. There's going to be some people that are on the evil side. It's just a given. Lil say evil can turn into good with time and people are but a lot of people aren't self-aware. That's what I'm saying. That's where I come in, y'all. I'm here to save y'all from, you know, this whole idealism and shit. And I can be idealistic with my Sagittarius energy. I got Sun conjoining Neptune, but again, my Capricorn energy makes me a realist at the same time. So it's like, there's a lot of people out there that are not self-aware. I don't think T.I. is self-aware. A lot of Libras just aren't self-aware, period, because they're constantly focusing on the other person. Like, he's so focused on his daughter that he's not even looking at himself. Like, you know, you got a fucking problem. The crazy part about the T.I. thing is that he was also really proud that his adolescent son had sex. So he's a hypocrite. If you're going to be like that with your daughter, you need to be like that with your son too. Don't act like boys can't get STDs and they can't get women pregnant. Let's be real. Oh, but because men can walk away and they don't have to carry the baby, it's okay, right? Because that's what it really comes down to. Erica said, I just hope he's taking his sons for STD tests. If his son got an STD, he'd be like, well, son, that's all part of the sex game or whatever. He'd probably just be like, hey, as long as it ain't AIDS. I'm just sick of this double standard with men. I really am. And sometimes Libra men have it the worst because they act like they're sensitive towards women and all this stuff. But really, there's this hidden agenda behind it. They're trying to conquer women. They're very strategic when dealing with women. And Libra is one of the signs of the military because it deals with the opposition, the enemy. He's playing the role of the opposition. Dow Comp said, I've never heard a T.I. song. Well, you haven't missed much. There's only like a couple of T.I. songs that I like. Didn't he do that song with Kanye West, Swagger Like Us? Wasn't that T.I. song? That was pretty dope, but only because of the beat and the hook. No one on the corner has swagger like us. Swagger like us. Swagger, swagger like us. Isn't that T.I. song? Right. Well, that's Lil Wayne's song. I swore that was T.I. song. No one on the corner has swagger like us. Swagger like us. Swagger, swagger like us. Joel said they're so strategic and use your darkest secrets against you when they need to. Uh-huh. Oh, that's Wale's song? Alana said he is a September Libra control freak, passive aggressive shit. So that's Jay-Z's song. Everybody's on that song. I know MIA did the song first, but Baby Nemo said T.I. is on there. Now Skinny saying, yeah, that is his song. HTH said, with all the debauchery, over-sexualized this, that, empty sex tends to feel, oh, yucky, celibacy is the only thing around. I'm with you on that at this point in my life, HTH. I love being celibate. Well, actually, did you know that celibacy is a religious term? Abstinence is more the worldly term. So I don't mind being abstinent, but see, I had some good sexual experiences back in the day. So it's like, it's not like I'm really missing out on anything. And I still got those memories. Champagne One said T.I. is out of his mind. This is coming from a person whose birthday is on 9/25. I do need to be more self-aware. Adrian said, I think T.I. is trying to pimp out his daughter like Kris Jenner. Mm-hmm. I think so too, because why would you put her status out there? Like, she's still a virgin. Miko said, I can't stand Will Smith. Then again, I hate most Libras, period. Yeah, Will Smith gets on my nerves because he tries to act like he's this perfect gentleman. And I'm like, no, you're not. Baby Nemo, you know I do. I started writing a book years ago. And you know, my Virgo ex ended up throwing out some of the pages of that book. I found some of the pages in the toilet one day. I was like, you hater. Lil said his poor daughter, she has to go to college now. She's going to get harassed over it. That's what I'm saying. Hey, Karmic Light, that's what I'm saying. Like, he didn't even think about his daughter and her having to face these people that are going to, you know, talk shit. Oh, and with that moon opposition Pluto, he is liable to face some backlash and through his own daughter. Like, she might really, like, be fed up with him at this point. Yeah, Lysandra, Virgos are foul. When they're dark side, they're some of the worst. Rendezvous said Libra is the only sign that's not human. The scales. Baby Nemo said he's putting a bullseye on her punani. Guys always buy hymens. Oh, I mean, actually buy a hymen. That's disgusting. I don't even want to think about it like that. Sammy J said, I bleached my ex-childhood. Look, T.I. is probably the type, he wished that he was in one of them cultures where they still do that female circumcision shit. He'd probably be down with it. if that meant that his daughter would remain a virgin until he say so. I guess they're still doing that in the world. And what was one of the most egregious things is that a lot of women in those cultures are the ones that are, you know, pushing their daughters to get it done. I mean, that's some of the sickest demonic shit. And I did want to talk about demons tonight. I believe that, you know, certain cultures that do stuff like that, they're being controlled by a demon or a demonic force. Because what, like, how do you explain that? But then, you know, some people will say the same about male circumcision. And maybe that's true. Maybe we shouldn't be cutting nobody's genitals. Hood Astro Queen said all the women on the real agree with him. Well, they're crazy. Only because it's T.I. Like I said, if it was some average Joe on the street saying this shit, nobody would be caping for him. But because it's T.I. and T.I. is supposedly this nice guy, oh yeah, he's doing the right thing. I feel like he is a fraud too. Yup. Caleb said male circumcision is health related that can prevent infections. But is it necessary, Caleb? Because if you teach a dude, hey bitch goddess, thank you. If you teach a boy how to clean his foreskin properly, then maybe, you know, it'll be all right. I mean, that foreskin is there for a reason. Let's be real. Now, in terms of aesthetics, I'm not all for it because I never had a uncircumcised one in my face. But but I will admit, like, maybe, you know, that's not right either. Hell yeah, I did. Said, you didn't get your son cut. I'm like, hell yeah, I did. I didn't want him looking all strange. I was like, look, I want him to do well with the ladies. Look, I'm talking shit about T.I. if he's talking about my son. But no, I mean, I honestly, I just went along to get along. I did what everybody, normally most people do. Because I was thinking about, you know, society and stuff like that. But maybe if we were in a different culture, maybe not. Somebody said anteater dicks. What? Lila said, just teach your sons to watch their dicks. Y'all treat men like they're retarded when it comes to certain shit. Actually, some men don't even know how to wipe their ass, even at 45 years old. We could get into that one too. So yeah, some men really do need to be taught everything. Yup, skid marks and all. Mm-hmm. For real. I mean, and Tyreek said front to back, people, front to back. I think some men don't even just really like putting their hand back there, and that's why, you know, they might end up with the skid marks. Yup, some men have a hard time getting it together with the ass. Caleb said, how do you get rid of stretch marks? You got stretch marks, Caleb? Asian Beauty said, both of my boys are circumcised. But I have to admit, when they first get it circumcised, it does look painful. What, you got them on your right here on your arms? I don't think you can fully get rid of stretch marks though. I think you can lighten them up. I don't think you could fully get rid of them though. That's just one of the curses that people have. Cameron said you need to get knocked out if you have a dirty ass. I agree. There's no excuse for that. Hey, NYC. Lil says circumcised dick looks like naked mole rats to me. Actually, I'm not into none of that shit no more. Like, let's be real. I think if I saw one nowadays, it's been so long for me. I'm approaching 3 years, y'all. January will be 3 years. So it's been so long to me. For me, I don't even think I know what to do with it if I saw it. I'd probably go run and hide somewhere. I'd be like, I'm not going back to that. No. I don't want to see one. I don't want to smell one. I damn sure don't want to taste one at this time in my life. I might change my mind in a year or so. Get back with me on that. But I'm chilling right now. Matter of fact, let me tell you all this story. My next door neighbor, he flashed me one day. Like he got a little too comfortable with me. No, did he flash? No, he didn't flash me. He showed me a picture of his dick on his phone. And I was like, what gave you the idea that I was even interested in you like that? Some men are just so fucking forward. And he had a girlfriend. This was this white dude, and he had a black girlfriend. So I guess he thought he was going to have 2 black girlfriends. He found out the hard way that day. Right? You know what I'm saying? Some men, like, look, let's ask the men in here. Why are y'all so eager to show your penis? Why are men so eager to show their penis? Like, that's one of the first things y'all think of, to send a dick pic. I ain't gonna lie, Siobhan, it wasn't small. I was like, okay, not bad. I didn't tell him now, but afterwards I thought about it. I was like, not bad. Like, okay, if I'm really hard up, I know where to get some. And I'm an equal opportunity lover. I'm a Sagittarius, so, you know, white, black, Puerto Rican, everybody's funny and freaking up in here. Bellatina said desperate. They think they got the magic stick. And it's like they all think that shit look good. Some of them don't even be putting no oil or like lotion on it first. Adrian said, I had that kind of shit happen to me more than normal. Tyreek said, the more egotistical a man is, the more they'll want to send a dick pic. It's almost like, it's like they're like advertising themselves. Like that's all we're interested in. But that's basically telling on themselves, because that shows that that's all they're interested in. Thank you, Cherry Love. I try. I really be trying. Rendezvous says some of them got crunchy look, right? Some of them be two-tone. You be like, what? Some of them looking like Fudge Ripple. Will said, y'all get turned on just by looking at dicks. Hell no, I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't do nothing for me. I don't think it does a lot for a lot of women, but men just keep on sending them. Lysandra said, boomerang dick. What's that look like? Rathy said, dick doesn't turn us on. Exactly. I don't want to see it unless you're ready to use it. That's how I look at it. Don't pull it out unless you're ready to use it, like it's a gun. And if it's soft, you can keep it in your pants, because I really don't want to see it. All the men got quiet in here. Oh, there go Cameron. Cameron said, at Lysandra, I know exactly what you're talking about. Caleb said, of course we're talking about dicks now. This is really squirt. All right, we got to. Baby Nemo said, unless you're ready to bang, bang, bang. That make me think of John Witherspoon. Oh, he died recently. What was he, 77, I think? He had a semi-full life, I guess. It seemed like he was always happy. He had that ghetto cooking show on YouTube. And John Witherspoon was an Aquarius. Right, Diana? I'm always going to remember that. Bang, bang, bang. Wasn't he one of the coolest Aquarius ever, right? I loved him in the Fridays. He was like, what was it? Friday after next. He was like, my dick is bigger than yours. When he was arguing with his brother. Pops, yeah. You got to coordinate. You got to coordinate. Yes, he's an Aquarius. He was. He didn't he do the grandfather's voice on the Boondocks? Why isn't Ice Cube shit? John said Ice Cube ain't shit. Is Ice Cube a Libra? What's his sign? Oh, that's what I want to pull a card to represent who T.I. is in terms of his core personality. God damn, I just dropped one. Hold on. I want to know what his character is in terms of who he is deep down inside. T.I.'s character. Oh, Ice Cube is a Gemini. So John Witherspoon has the same birthday as Anita Baker. Oh, Boomerang. I had a curvy one before. It was nice. It was nice. Okay. This is a little redeeming for him. But again, it could show that he's too controlling. Because this is a family card. This is also a patriarchy card. Damn. 10 of Pentacles. This is also a patriarchy card. So this is showing that, you know, he's all about family. Also could show that he's all about preserving traditions. Can also mean that he's all about getting that money. So maybe he is trying to get the highest bidder for his daughter. It could show that he's very much a materialist, not really into the spiritual side of life. Yup. Family Hustle. That's the name of the is that the name of the show? Siobhan said the devil. Caleb's, yeah, go ahead, Caleb. Go wild. What you know about vaginas? I hate that word. Anybody like that word? I think that is like the ugliest word ever. I don't like penis either, but vagina is even worse. I don't even like saying it. And I noticed like ever since about 10 years ago, they started really saying it a lot on TV. And every time I would blush. I'd be like, because I wasn't, you know, brought up that way to just be saying vagina all day. Moni said, I hated the word moist too. Lil said the cootie coo. I like the cootie coo. That sounds good. I like cooch. Hell, I'd rather say twat than vagina. And you know what vagina means? It's a Latin word that means sheath, like sheath for a sword. I don't mind pussy. I don't mind kitty cat. Some men used to call it stink box. I like purse. I like hoo-ha. Some men would call it clam. Like men be coming up with some real derogatory terms for women, I swear, in women's private parts. Remember K. Michelle called it her hot pocket. I like flower pot. Muff. Bush. What about bush? I like bush. Funk box, yeah. Actually, some women do be having that funk box. Let's be real. But I mean, it means that they really have some problems. Some women, they just can't get their pH together. And a lot of them do have strong Scorpio energy. Let's be real. And it's because that Scorpio energy is dark and moist energy. So it does attract all types of bugs and wiggly worms and bacteria and all types of stuff. Punani. Poo poo. Melanie said poo poo. Taco. Yeah, I remember taco. Baby Nemo said my mom called it susu. My mom called it whoa. She'd be like, her whoa hanging out. Peck peck. It's called peck peck Blasian in Filipino. PP. The cooter. That sounds like a raccoon to me. I really like the JJ. I like Sugar Bowl. Hello Kitty. Hello. That monkey. I don't like the term monkey. I actually had my ex, he had to explain to me that that's what it meant. I was like, you remember that song, trying to get to you and that monkey, trying to get to you and that monkey. I was like, what do you mean about monkey? He was like, you don't know what that means? Coco. I never heard of Coco. Lysandra said monkey is a fat pussy. Oh. That's what he was saying. He was like, you know how a monkey be hanging from the tree and you can see the side of his mouth? And I was like, oh, I get it. I was like, I get it. All right, let's come up with some slang terms for the D. Johnson. What's another one? Why can't I think of any? Sausage. Sword. Wang is a good one. Ding-a-ling. Wang. Sword. Wiener. Ew, yeah, wiener. Banana. Cock. I love cock. I love the word cock because you know why? Because you can't have a soft, small cock, or you can't have a soft, small dick and call it a cock. You got to have some weight on it for it to be called a cock. Y'all agree with me? It got to have some weight on it. Like, just any dick ain't a cock. Like, you got to be like, when you see, you be like, no, that's a cock. Yes, Aquarius. I do love that word because it to me it denotes strength. Like if a guy I was seeing, he was like, he came up to me, he was like, suck my cock. I'd be like, I couldn't resist. But if he said suck my dick, I'd just be like, get out of here. Third leg, yup. Willie. Did anybody mention Willie? Like one-eye Willie? Speaking of one-eye Willie or Willie, period. Y'all remember that movie, The Goonies? And it's a shame because I love this movie growing up. Remember the movie The Goonies? And in that movie, they were talking about one-eye Willie. And you know, one-eye Willie, that's a slang term for a penis. And then there was some real like questionable things in The Goonies. And then come to find out, Corey Feldman, who was in The Goonies, he came out and said, who was it? Was it Joel Schumacher, who was the director of The Goonies, that he was trying to get with little boys? Ew, mangina. Panhandle. I never heard of that. Esoteric Mommy said all the movies have these hidden meanings. Yup. Karen, Corey Feldman, and Corey Haim had those issues. Hammer time. TT. I never heard of TT. TT said, ew, cock is nasty. Cock is it. Fish hook. I never heard of fish hook. Oh, Filipino is TT. Swole pole. I never heard of swole pole. Can I swing on your swole pole? Third leg, rod, staff. How about the staff? Love stick. You pulled the trigger on my love gun. Soul pole, the meat. Cocoa, beefcake. Micro. Yup, I said Johnson, Cameron. Yes, we got to honor Scorpio massively. What else can we talk about with Scorpio? Anybody have a near-death experience before? Caleb said, is Vedic astrology legitimate? I would say for, those who are into it, I guess. Somebody has said in here that, oh, you're a Scorpio in Vedic astrology. I'm like, where? Because I'm like, well, where's my Sagittarius energy coming from? God damn it. Because I'm a Sagittarius all day. But, to each his own. Astrology is really about like the eye of the beholder type shit. So if it works for you, if Vedic works for you, go with it. Have fun. Tyreek said, I was giving driving lessons to my Scorpio friend. She almost crashed the car on the highway. So Rendezvous had a near-death experience a few times. Yeah, I mean, I'm just tropical Western all day, Cameron. I'm just. HTA said Tahuti Mara. I remember him. What happened to him? I haven't seen him on YouTube in a minute. Said I'm in the West, so I take Western astrology. And it's funny, I've had quite a few clients from India over the years, and they don't ever be like, "Why aren't you using Vedic astrology for my chart?" When I read their chart via Western tropical astrology, they be like, "Oh, this is on point." So, like I said, it's about the eye of the beholder. If you could read that chart well in terms of Vedic astrology, you're gonna be accurate. If you could read it for tropical, you're gonna be accurate. It all depends on your skills. Ronnie who said I hit an electric pole with a truck, had 2 car accidents. Cameron said, I think it's like tarot. You have to give the cards boundaries. You have to give astrology your boundaries and it'll work for you. I agree because in tarot, I don't use reverse cards, but you got plenty of tarot readers that do. So, yeah, like I said, it's about in the eye of the beholder. It's like 2 different languages, you could say. One person speaks Spanish, one person speaks English. Are either of them wrong? They can both, get the same point across. It's just going to sound a little differently, right? So you could look at it as 2 different languages, but it's all communication when it comes down to it. Justin said, I'm a Libra in Vedic. I don't act like no damn Libra at all. I'm hella Scorpio. Bitch Goddess said, I need to give Mercury retro some damn boundaries. Oh my God. Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Does anybody have, hey Renee, does anybody have any Mercury retro stories? Wait a minute, what happened to Gary? Let me go back to Gary. Gary said, my father also choked me to death. Damn. That's that Scorpio energy in your chart. That's fucked up. I've been loving this season so far. And knock on wood, so far, Mercury retrograde hasn't been too rough. Right now, it's in my 10th house. But Sandra said, I always have smooth sailing during retro. Tyreek said, the previous Mercury retrograde in July, I got hit by a car while on my bike. Oh, are you okay? Ramon said, I was born on the same day as Jane Mansfield and Suge Knight. Sunshine said, I got into 2 arguments. It's bad for me. Rathy Rat said, as Gemini, I can handle this retro better than Cancer season. I love Scorpio season too. NYC Black said, I'm a 4th house Scorpio. Any insight? So you got your sun in the 4th in Scorpio. You must be very guarded, especially like when it comes to your privacy, all that. You ever experienced any haunted activity, NYC? Ever been in a haunted house? What, you millionaire? Are you talking about the YouTuber I was talking about? That was talking about, oh yeah, she trying to get that bag, or T.I. trying to secure that bag for his daughter. Hell yeah, Caleb. Scorpio is the astral realm. And that's where demons like to hang out. And that's that whole pathway between the living and the dead. Actually, for Scorpio season, I have been watching like near-death experience videos quite a bit. I've been watching stories about hospice nurses and how, they had experience with their dying patients, and the patients, basically right before their death, like they're saying things and they're seeing family members and stuff. I was actually thinking with my Scorpio midheaven and Scorpio North Node, I don't think I would mind. I might really consider becoming one of those hospice volunteers. where you sit at the person's bedside. Usually it's people that don't have no family, and the person's about to die, and you just sit with them and you have them, you keep them comfortable until they die, and like you can read them stuff. So that might be part of my calling, y'all, because I'm fascinated about death. I think about it all the time. So if I can help people that way, I think I would really feel good about that. And I would like to see some paranormal shit at the same time. Exactly, Bellatana. There was this one story in particular, it really touched my heart. It was about this little boy, and I think he was around 9 years old, and he had a terminal illness. So he knew he was going to die, and he was in the hospice, and he told the nurse about this dream he had. He said he had a dream that this horse came to get him, and he got on the horse, and he was riding the horse, and that the horse was heading towards the woods. But then he said he had this thought not to go in the woods and to turn around. So he ended up turning around. He told the nurse, he was like, I have a feeling that if I would have went into the woods, that would have been the end. And the nurse was like, I have a feeling that's true. So I think the boy was left out of hospice. I think he went back home, or maybe the mom was with him at the hospice at the time. But the son ended up having another dream about the horse. He told his mom about it, and his mother was like, I think the horse, she was like, I think it's almost time. And the boy was like, yeah. And sure enough, he died about like an hour later. There's so many stories about people who experience these crazy things right before they die. Rodney just said you should watch How to Die in Oregon. It's about assisted suicide. Yeah, I should watch that because I'm interested in that too. Ramon said my mom is a slightly dark-sided Libra woman, and it's true. She does try to keep me abstinent and save me from the highest bidder. Oh, save me for the highest bidder. So she's trying to arrange your marriage and all that. How you feel about assisted suicide, Sunshine? Sugar and Spice said, when my dad passed, I dreamed he took my hand down a long illuminated path. I was told he's my guardian angel. Oh, I love stuff like that. That's beautiful. Stay Focused said, I'm a hospice nurse aide. The nurse sit with the patient because the patient is on CC, which means continuously care. The patient will be dying soon. Wow. So Stay Focused, does your hospice have those volunteers that come in? HGH said there was a doctor that got arrested for assisting in that exiting desire. Is it legal to do that in Oregon? Googling. Cameron said, I feel like there is a lot of unnecessary fear of death. It's just going back to where we came from. Yeah, this one lady that was a hospice nurse, she was like, she basically took the audience through the birth process, and then she took them through the death process. And she was like, basically, that's what they're one and the same. And she was like, you go through the same stages, like when you are pregnant and then you're going to give birth versus when you're on your deathbed and then you're going to die. Caleb said, death is like an eternal dream. Rathy said, when my grandma died, she said, I won't trouble you all much and die peacefully. Oh, I love that. Okay, Stay Focused said, yes, they have volunteers. So yeah, I think that might be part of my calling. I'm not saying I'm going to do it now, but maybe when I get in my late 40s, early 50s, once I get more experience and I'm more calm and settled with myself. Caleb said, when does the soul enter the body? Well, people, they argue about that. Some people say the soul enters the body once the person takes their first breath, the breath of life. That's when the soul comes in. Does anybody ever remember being in the womb? Cameron said, right, because you can't even remember consciousness before birth, nor do we know what happens. It's the same. I feel like we rediscover singularity when we pass over. NYC said, my grandmother, before she died, kept saying a cat was in the room. I believe cats are like guardians to the other side, or they will help usher people over. I did hear about this one cat that was always at this hospice. It was like the hospice resident cat, and he would sit at the bedside of people that were about to die, and he would not leave their bedside until they died. So animals be knowing. Rathy said when they see that bright light, probably it's them seeing the opening of a pussy. Maybe. Caleb Jordan said maybe the soul enters before the skull closes. Interesting. Do you believe that anybody could be born soulless? How about that? Maybe some of them Aquarians. Sometimes you do gotta wonder about some of them. Like, do you even have a soul? Sunshine said, is astral projection real? Can people really leave their body and come back? Oh, yeah, Sunshine. I've experienced it myself. Now, that's a freaky experience. I've had it full on where I actually left my body. Hey, Andrea. I've had it full on where I've actually left my body. And I had it also where it was about to happen a few times and I stopped myself because it's so scary when you're conscious of it about to happen. Like sometimes you'll be conscious that it's going to happen and other times it just happens spontaneously. So from my experience, just when you're about to leave your body, this is the scary part. You're either going to hear this crack of thunder or you're going to hear this crackling like it's a bag of chips. That's my own personal experience. I don't know about anybody else. Oh yeah, Justin, I heard about black dogs. Siobhan, do you know about that crackling sound? But I've also heard like it's real loud thunder. And then like it'll like jolt me out of it and then I'll like jerk awake. Yeah, I believe you're going to come back though if it's not your time. Cameron said, I have heard the crack, but Rabina, do you feel vibration all over like everything starts breaking apart? Yes. Oh, and that's another thing. It's like this. I also get this feeling of being shot up in a rocket. And then I'll stop myself and then I'll quickly come back down. So that's happened to me like 3 times. And it's funny because it'll happen like when I have insomnia. Like if I'm at somebody's house and I can't go to sleep. Siobhan said it's like a waterbed sound to me. It's weird, Rafi. It's like I'm not sure if I'm in that paralyzed state when it's happening because I'm more so focused on the sounds that I'm hearing, and then that quick where it's like you're being shot up in a rocket. Cameron said it's happened to me several times. I've actually had it to me at the pool this summer with a friend. Damn, so you were wide awake, or were you like drifting off to sleep? Monet said she heard water pouring. Sunshine says, so are you saying it's fate when some people are killed by another? Is that how they were destined to die? Oh, but did anybody answer my question? Do you believe that some people are born without a soul? Some people believe that. And has anybody ever heard of those black-eyed children? Anybody ever heard of that? Hey, Tracism, where these black-eyed children will show up at your door. I've never experienced that, but people claim they're real too. And has anybody ever had an experience with aliens? Have anybody ever had the alien abduction experience? HEH said we were told by what some may call hoteps. I know, but those with natural rhythm have both spirit and soul. Those without natural rhythm just have spirit. Interesting. I didn't hear about this Clark Atlanta girl that went missing. Is this a recent story? Sunshine said those are reptilians. Yeah, I heard about reptilians. Monet said, absolutely. My ex-sociopath boyfriend. You think he was born without a soul? Esoteric Mommy said, I heard about the black-eyed kids that knock on your door, right? You're not supposed to open the door, and you damn sure ain't supposed to let them in the house. I don't know what happens if you let them in the house, but that's what I heard. HEA says some kind of energy has to animate the husk. Yeah, it'll be demonic energy. Instead of the soul, it'll be some demonic energy. You never heard of the black-eyed kids? Google it, Caleb. So there's this phenomenon where people swear like these black-eyed kids will just knock on their door. Like it might be one kid and he has all black eyes, and they always say, don't answer the door. And if you answer the door, don't let them in. I guess they're here to steal your soul. Ramon said, why are Sagittarius so addicted to Aries people? Well, both are fire signs. They both work pretty well together within reason. I happen to like Aries because Aries are, you know, they're sharp. They're sharpshooters. Like they get right to the point. They really don't put on airs. What you see is what you get. Cameron said, my great grandmother used to always tell us to never answer knocking by knocking back unless we were prepared for what was knocking. Cameron, I feel you on that. I believe that you should never knock on your own door if you know nobody's home. How do you say sun in Spanish? Soul, soul. Can one buy or sell the sun? Who's the skin? Does the sun seem to take better to? Hence the hidden why of what's called racism. Deep. Monet said, hell yeah, he didn't care about anyone. We passed by a car crash and he had no empathy. He said he won't even go to his son's funeral if he died because they're beefing. Damn, that's cold. You sure he just don't have a Capricorn stellium with some Aquarius thrown up in there? Caleb said, it's weird how our physical bodies grow with our spirit. Baby Nemo says, so that would make them vessels for energy. Yes, but it's the same with people that are like schizophrenic. Same with people that have brain injuries. You notice, y'all ever hear about a person that gets a brain injury and they lose function of a certain part of their brain, especially if it's the frontal lobe or the temporal lobe. And next thing you know, they turn into a mean person. And like people don't even recognize them no more. Like they could have been the sweetest person, then they get a head injury. And next thing you know, they're this sociopathic, evil person. My belief is that because the brain stops functioning or that person loses access to that brain, a demon comes in and takes control. Because think about it. If you lose part of your mental capabilities, what's taken over? That empty space. And why a lot of people that have mental health disorders, like, or even brain disorders, why do they lean on the bad side? Why do they lean on the dark side, the negative side? You know what I mean? Why does somebody with schizophrenia tend to be a danger to themselves and others? Where is that coming from? You have to ask yourself that. Hey, Contemplating Key. You have to ask yourself why people who have these mental illnesses, why do they lean on the dark side in terms of their ways and actions? A lot of them. Either they'll lean on the dark side or they'll be very religious. You know what I mean? And they always claim that there's some angels and demons and all this stuff. You notice like schizophrenics are very much focused on religious themes or spiritual themes, period. So you got to ask yourself, where is that coming from? I think with schizophrenics, because it's like the veil has been ripped to the point where they understand that this world is basically about good versus evil. So it's like they're experiencing that in those black and white terms. Siobhan said, I think we all have an activation point for those energy. I agree. Cameron said the 12th house was called the bad spirit in ancient astrology. Yeah, that 12th house can be really challenging for some people because it's like an open door to the other side. HGA said it said that Harriet Tubman had a head injury too. Yeah, she did, didn't she? And that's why she wore that thing around her head. Speaking of Harriet Tubman, people aren't feeling this movie with Harriet Tubman. I haven't seen it. I don't want to see it. I'm not into watching slave shit. I don't like being, reminded about that sordid history, that terrible history. So I really stay away from those modern day slave movies and stuff. Even though I love Harriet Tubman, her story, all of that, I think she's like one of my heroes, but I don't want to see it. You notice it's like they always release about one every year. And I feel like it's to remind Black people, it's try to keep Black people in their place. Like, don't forget where you came from. We gave you your freedom. But yeah, I'm not for it. Tyreek said our struggle deserves awareness and representation. But I heard that that movie is a lot of misrepresentations. Like I heard that they had this slave catcher who's a black guy. And from what people are saying, historically, they didn't have black slave catchers like that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, D. Danique. I'll pass on the movie too. Gary said that movie is trash. Love Morris said they're saying it's not a slave movie. Well, wasn't she trying to help the slaves escape up north to Canada? If that's not a slave movie, I don't know what is. But I'm like, I've seen Roots like 50 times. I'm cool. To me, Roots was the that's the top. That's the top of the slavery pyramid stories for me. Because I ain't gonna lie, Roots kind of traumatized me as a kid. Was any of y'all kind of traumatized when y'all first saw Roots? Contemplated Key said, what even prompted them to come out with this movie? I swear, like just about every Siobhan said Roots is enough. Right? Especially when they was, oh my God, when they was on that slave ship, that like traumatized me as a kid. I was like, oh my God. Even the part that traumatized me the most was when he was still in Africa. Kunta Kinte was still in Africa and they catch him. He's like right by the water. He's on a beach or whatever. And then next thing you know, you see these chains being thrown at him. I remember I was so traumatized. I was just like, oh my God. And I remember I was mad too. Like that made a lot of Black people mad. Millionaire said Roots was very traumatizing for me as well. Diana said the slave ship part was effed up and I felt claustrophobic, right? Rendezvous said then they came with the queen afterwards. Erica says same, it was very painful to watch. And the part where Kunta Kinte was getting whipped and he kept on saying, what's your name? And he wanted him to say Toby. And Kunta Kinte was like, nah, fuck that, I'm Kunta. And he kept on getting whipped. So it's like, yeah. Caleb said, I had a panic attack watching the Nat Turner movie. It was so painful to watch. Love Moore said, you know what traumatizes me? Ghetto gaggers and cum bang. Ew, that is traumatizing. I never seen one of those ghetto gagger videos. I don't want to see it. Like, do they really be choking them? Like, with the dick? I don't want to see that. First of all, I don't want to see nothing sexual where women are getting abused. Like, I get triggered. I don't like that. Mr. Goodbar said it was supposed to traumatize you. That's why whites made y'all watch it. Diana said, oh, yeah, I remember the Queen series. That was too much as well. I think I saw some of it. Rodnesia said they have a glitch or impairment in the synapse of the brain, so I think it would be related to messed up energy fields like energy being activated or deactivated. The mind is the energy source itself. Lovemore said it's racist and they make them drink their puke and piss. Are you serious? I didn't realize it was that bad. Wow. I mean, let's be real. The world of porn basically is satanic. Because that is like really like you can't get any more flesh oriented than that. I haven't heard of McCamey Manor. Who's that? The things some people will do for money or for, you know, a little publicity. It's amazing. But see, I believe like those chicks that do the ghetto gaggers and stuff, they probably have a demon attached to them. Because again, it's like you got to ask yourself, why would you engage in behaviors like that humiliate you and stuff? The same, I believe the same about these tribes that be putting them big ass plates in their lip and be putting them bones through their nose and be putting them bones through their penises. I think it's all demonic. I think these demons are like, show me your allegiance by putting this big ass plate in your lip. You know what I'm talking about? Those tribal women, they got the big ass, and you know that's a sexist thing. The men don't, well, some of the men, like in South America, they'll have a plate in their lip, but it's not as big as the ones in Africa. And then when they take that plate out, their lip just be hanging like this. But to me, I believe that's a demonic influence. Them Indians in India that be like stabbing themselves and stuff to show their allegiance to whoever God, I'm like, that's a demon. That some of them be having like a big old swordfish. It be and then it be in their face, like in the little point be coming out the other side. I'm like, that's demonic. Like, what God would want you to hurt yourself? And all this is related to Scorpio. Aztecs and the Mayan. Yeah. You ever see Apocalypto? That's my shit. Rathy said they will even poke needles behind their back and most don't feel the pain. Right? But even like when it comes to the Christians and the Holy Communion and stuff, what's up with drinking Jesus' blood and eating his flesh? What's up with that? Why all these religions got this sick shit with it? I mean, when you really think about it, like people are symbolizing drinking Jesus' blood and eating his flesh with the grape juice and the crackers. That's kind of demonic too. We talking about cannibalism. Gary said the Mayans were crazy. Like, what kind of guy wants you to do that? Right, Cherry? I love Apocalypto. Bellatana said, I don't like how it's too controlling over your life. Justin said, that's the Ethiopian Mercy tribe that wear the lip plates. Caleb said, demons want us to lower the vibration of our bodies so that we could become a greater host for the demonic influence. Since we have our own soul, we can't become fully possessed unless we agree to. Adrian said, I have 2 tongue piercings myself. You got that 8th house energy. There's a correlation between demonic influence and piercings. You can't tell me there's not, because piercings are ruled by Scorpio and Pluto. So I'm not saying that everybody that gets piercing and stuff. I mean, I got my nose pierced, but I'm talking about when you got people that got the piercings here, all over their face, they got piercings all over their body and stuff. I'm like, you got to ask yourself, where's the influence coming from? Quentin said, what's up, Rabina? I want to hear you sing tonight, and Chris ain't your man, only me, so don't get him beat up. Oh my God. I don't think I sang a single song tonight. Don't get me started. But I'm kind of in a what's the word? I'm kind of in that type of mood where kind of in a more serious mood. But if the spirit speaks to me, if it calls me, I'll sing something. Right? It's a Scorpio energy. I guess it's too heavy tonight. Monet said, that's true. Every piercing I've got, my body rejected it. Quentin said, I will throw my drawers through the internet. Ooh, wait, let's hope they're clean. Isn't it heavy? Right? But honestly, I don't know if it's Mercury retrograde or Scorpio season period, but I do feel this heaviness. And it's almost like an unsettled feeling that I have, like something's coming. And I had this feeling before 9/11. You know what I mean? Like, did anybody get this heavy feeling before 9/11 went down? I know I did. And months before 9/11, for some reason, I kept on saying, praise the Lord, pass the ammunition, which is the saying that, who said that? Teddy Roosevelt said that? Let me see who said that. But I got this very uneasy feeling, y'all, like something bad's about to happen in the world. Or maybe it's just going to be in my life. I hope it's not my life. But wait, let's see who said that. That's actually a song, but no, a president has said that. Yeah, Franklin. Wait a minute, is that Franklin Roosevelt said that? But yeah, before 9/11, I kept saying that. And next thing you know, 9/11 happened. And I was like, no wonder why I kept saying, praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Diana said, yes, I had dreams 2 days beforehand. Ranisha said, I was so high, so I don't know. Gary said, by the picking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes. You ever see that movie or read that book? That movie's good. Something wicked this way comes. But how did y'all feel on 9/11? Was y'all scared? Was y'all like mad? Did you want to go to war? I remember thinking, my first thought was, where's the national security? How could they let this happen? That was my first thought. And I remember I called up a talk radio station. I was the first one on. And that's what I said. I was like, I think it was Michael Smirkanish or whatever, talk radio host. And I remember I was the first one on the radio because I've always been very political and things like that. I've always been like an armchair activist. So I had all these questions. Then when they put it on Osama bin Laden, I was like, I'm not buying that shit. So I really didn't buy the official story of 9/11 early on. Sunshine, wow, you making me feel old. She said I was a child, so I don't know. Blazion said I was at military training during 9/11. So I'm sure people on the base was fired up. Diana said I wasn't scared, just in shock. I remember I was at the doctor's office when the first plane hit the building and they were broadcasting it because I had to take my kids to the doctor that day. And yeah, I was just staring at the TV in shock. But then I was also saying, well, this country brought this shit on themselves. They want to be all interfering in all foreign affairs and stuff. Was anybody in New York when that happened? Was anybody in Manhattan when that happened? Mr. Goodbar said I was in the 7th grade. I'm 30 now. Fuck America. Damn, it's been that long ago? Jesus. To me, that seemed like that just happened like a few years ago. But I really stopped counting once 2000 hit. Everything just runs together now. Quentin said you was in New York. Rendezvous, you were in Brooklyn. NYC, you was in New York. So I know New York was like tripping on that day. Can't you see downtown New York from Brooklyn? Or no? Like, could you see like the smoke? Anybody? Cherry said, I do feel a heaviness now, and I know it has nothing to do with me. For a few days now, I've been wanting to cry, but I have no personal reason to. Yeah, if you're an empath, a lot of times you will pick up on energy that's going to happen, like some world event or something crazy. Lysandra said, yep, could see it from my school. Wow. Did they lock the school down that day, Lysandra, or did they let y'all go early? All those people that died, people jumping out of building and shit. Cameron said the hangman and tarot is all I think of 9/11. I did a video on that, Cameron, where I talked about the hangman card because that guy, they had that one picture of that guy and he was falling from the building just like in the hangman. And he had one of his legs bent. And I was like, yo, they're sending a message that this shit was planned because the hangman is a card of sacrifice. Sugar and Spice said, my daughter went to visit the site. She said she hears crying. Oh, wow. Caleb said 9/11 was a ritual sacrifice. Yes, I believe that. Human sacrifice. One of the biggest sacrifices. Sunshine said, I guess whatever happens is destined, just like the fire in the Amazon and the France fire. Rendezvous said New York has a lot of tragedies. But they cleaned up New York. Since like the 70s or early 80s, New York used to be a much scarier place. Lysandra said the memorial is a little creepy. It's just water falling into an endless drop. Oh, that sounds creepy. Esoteric. So Cali is still on fire? Damn, I didn't realize that. Cherry said, I've seen the second building collapse live on CNN here in Holland. Wasn't that some shit where you could barely, how about, when those buildings collapsed? I knew something was up because that was controlled demolition all day. Buildings don't just fall straight down because of a fire. Cameron said, I went to Oklahoma City bombing memorial in high school and it had such a horrible feeling. Wow. I'm sure you felt that with that Cancer South node. Ronija said, I was in my health class. I had overwhelming urge to get high. I had just smoked. I saw the news. I went back in the bathroom and smoked some more. NYC said, I want to move the fuck out of New York. I don't feel safe. You know what? I wouldn't feel exactly safe in New York either, because when shit hits the fan, you're kind of trapped. Where you going to go? Unless you got a helicopter, because everybody's going to beat you to those bridges. And what's the only way out? The tunnel and a couple of bridges when it comes to New York. What is it? The George Washington Bridge? Doesn't that go into New York? And then you got the Brooklyn Bridge, and then you got the Holland Tunnel. Aren't those the only ways out of New York? Unless your ass can swim. Rathy said, I saw the building fall live in TV in Malaysia. Scary shit. Gabrielle said, Cali keep having blackouts. That's scary too. The minute they want to take over this country, all they got to do is hit up this power grid and turn off everybody's power. That's a scary thing. Denique, you never been to New York? New York is huge. Like, in terms of like the size, in terms of the rest of the country, it's small. But when you get there, it's huge. It's hard to explain, but them New Yorkers, y'all know what I'm talking about. Lil said New York is stank. Like, you can really feel isolated in New York, even though there's a ton of people in New York. Rathy said, we depend so much on phone and internet, so imagine without it. Exactly. I used to actually have emergency food. I had a box of emergency food, but I don't have it no more. Rendezvous said, New York is crowded but small. But Rendezvous, when you go to some areas, like when you go to some boroughs like Harlem, I remember when I went to Harlem one time, I was like, Harlem is big. And it's like, they're, of course, the boroughs, they're like all little cities in themselves. But when you think about it in terms of the size compared to the rest of the country, New York is really small. Kayla said no one gives a shit about Washington. You mean Washington, D.C. or Washington State? I don't like Washington, D.C. Sorry for anybody that's from there. But I don't really like Baltimore either. I really don't like the East Coast, let's be real. And I damn sure don't like Philly. Lysandra said Harlem getting gentrified. Okay. Cameron said all those smaller power companies are being bought up by larger power companies. I live in Kansas, and Weststar Energy was just purchased by Evergy. Yeah, that's scary. Sunshine wants to know, what is your opinion on atheists? That's a good question. I don't know. I feel like atheists, they're kind of arrogant, where they believe that, you know, there's no higher power. But then again, I kind of understand where they're coming from, because this higher power has never been proven. But I'm like, somebody had to create us. When I was younger, Justin, I wanted to live in New York so bad, but that was during the B-boy days. Like the Beat Street, breakdancing, B-boying, and like early part of hip hop. I wanted to live in New York because I was all about that life. But atheists, I can understand where they're coming from, but my thing is, NYC is asking about agnostic. I can like respect an agnostic more than an atheist, because an agnostic, you're just basically saying, I don't know if there's a God. Atheists are saying there's no God at all. But when it comes to the concept of God, I don't believe that there's this man or whatever it is just sitting on some throne in heaven dictating or orchestrating everything. I believe that there's some type of creative force that creates order, but I don't necessarily believe that there's this God, like how they talk about in the Bible, how they personify him and talk about God as a jealous God, and God's going to strike these people down because they're sinning and all this stuff. Lilith said, one of my friends is an atheist. What I hate about them is that they think they know everything. Not everything can be explained or recreated in a lab. I agree. But you know what I hate? I hate when Christians say this. And this is their answer to everything that's bad in the world. Well, God is in control. I'm like, what? God is in control? So you mean to tell me that God wants all this negative, evil stuff to happen? But then again, maybe that's true, because maybe God just created us to be entertainment for him or her or them or whoever the hell it was that created us. I'm like, how can you say that God is in control? No, the people that run this world is in control, which I believe is essentially a satanic force. Mr. Goodbar said, you actually proved that the higher powers, the planets that control it. I do believe that, Mr. Goodbar. Yeah, if we have any gods, it's the planets. Really. Because nothing happens without the permission of the planets. And it's the truth, really, when you think about it. And it's like the script has already been written for us. We just show up and we play our roles. We could tweak the script a little bit, like how actors can. Like, you know, we can ad lib and stuff, and we can add our little lines, but we can't change the full script. And I believe that is exactly how your natal chart is. It's a script. It's already been written. And now we just have to show up and play our parts. That's how, you know, I could do a forecast for people and tell them you're going to get in a car accident around this time, and that shit happens. How do I know this? It's not because I'm just pulling this information out of my ass or out of the sky. It's because I know how to read planets and read how, you know, things are looking and all that type of stuff. I remember, like, I told one of my clients about her boyfriend. I was like, your boyfriend's going to get in an accident around this time. And sure enough, he did. So it's like, some people will be like, the future can't be predicted. Yes, the hell it can. I don't believe you can predict everything about the future, but there are some things you can predict about the future. Like, I know when I have the Mars square Mercury transit in my chart, there's a good chance I'm going to cut myself. And it don't matter if I'm aware of that transit, it will sneak up on me, because you can't be conscious every minute of the day of the transits and like really be all cautious and stuff, because it's like our mind's going to be on other things. But this has happened countless times. Mars squaring my Mercury. I'm trying to be careful all day, and the minute I take my eye off the ball, boom, I cut myself. And I'm like, damn, there it is. There's Mars square Mercury. On October, this Gemini, he hit my car. I'm still waiting for my car to get repaired because I'm working with his insurance company. Soon as the dude hit my car, I knew that some shit would happen like that, because I had Neptune square Mercury in my chart transit. And as soon as he hit my car, I was like, that's fucking Neptune. That's what I said. And that's why I couldn't get that mad, because I was like, it's fucking Neptune. Neptune will try to snatch your car when it's square Mercury. So it's like you can't get too upset, because it's like it's the planet. When the planets want some shit to happen, like if Mars wants your finger to get cut, it's getting cut. If Mars wants you to get punched in the face, you getting punched in the face. It's just going to happen like that. Some things we can avoid, but some things are just unavoidable. Cherry Love said, our car accidents a sign of something. My ex had multiple. I always tell him someone is trying to tell you something. I mean, it could just be what's in his chart. Like, you having Mercury in Sagittarius alone, or Mercury in Pisces, your chances of getting in an accident just go up. Like, and that's because Mercury rules driving, it rules cars, and it's in detriment when it's in those two signs. So you're just, if you got Mercury, I got Mercury in Sag, I'm just naturally prone to get in an accident. But I haven't been in an accident in years. But I knew with this Neptune square Mercury that it could happen. And sure enough, it did. Thank God I didn't cause it. But this other dude, Gemini, ran into me because he wasn't paying attention to where he was going. Now I'm inconvenienced because I got to wait on his insurance company to approve my claim. Well, Aquarius can be a straight up atheist, but so can Libra and Gemini. All them air signs, basically. Rendezvous said, oh, wow, I have Mercury and Sag, multiple accidents, mainly rear-ended by others. Oh, because I got his license, Lil. I got all his paperwork. I was like, give it all up. So like if you get in a car accident, sometimes it could be your karma, but sometimes it could just be because you're going through a crazy transit. But they do say, every action has its reaction, or, there's always this cause and effect going on. Okay. But I do know, because it happened within the month that I moved. And I do know when you make major changes like that, like moving to another place, the energy gets all crazy. The energy that's surrounding you around that time, even though there might be some positive transits that bring it on home, the energy is still very dysfunctional around that time because you're changing things up. So, and y'all let me know if this has happened to you, where you've moved or you've made a major change and then things start falling apart, or something crazy happens right after that. That's very common because, again, if we're talking about making a change like that, which is a drastic change, that energy is all like dysfunctional. So other things are going to be going down. Jules said our charts are close, but my Venus conjoined to Mercury in Aquarius. Beautiful words that few understand. Rendezvous said my car was hit this August visiting Brooklyn. I was in the house, no note or anything. Now the old me would have went apeshit on that dude, but I was calm. Now I did make sure that he knew that it was his fault, because at first he was like, "You didn't see me," and I'm like, "No, you were supposed to see me because I had the right of way." He was totally doing the wrong thing, straight up Gemini. And then finally, he was being nice. He apologized and stuff like that. And we exchanged information and all that type of stuff. Of course, he was in a pickup truck, and he was in a truck, like he was at work. So he was in a company vehicle. So he really didn't get any, have anything damaging to his truck. And it wasn't even his truck. But of course, my car had to suffer. And it's so common for shit to happen like this with me too, because I had 1 year of car payments left. And I remember prior to that, it was like a month prior to the accident, I came upon my anniversary in terms of when I got my car. And I was like, okay, I got 1 year of car payments left. And then boom. Diana said, I like Aqua and Virgo. I'm an Aqua Moon, Virgo rising. I'm also a Libra sun, but really don't click with other Libras. Then I had to ask myself, I was like, okay, because my car's still dry, like I can still drive it, but ever since it's been hit, because it's the driver's side, the front end is like banged up, and I definitely can't drive at night because that headlight is out. I know some people drive with one headlight. I don't play around like that, and I don't want to get stopped by the cops. But anyway, I haven't been hardly driving my car at all. Thankfully, where I moved, I'm around all these stores. So I've been doing a lot of walking lately. So I was like, okay, is this the universe trying to tell me I need to get off my lazy ass and start really walking and getting exercise? Because I do have Mars in Gemini. One thing about Mars in Gemini is you do need to balance that mental energy with physical energy. And a lot of times I don't. Like I will get into a zone where I'll start working out, but then I'll just, stop doing it. But I think sometimes the universe will force me to become more active. So I've been walking a lot lately. It's been feeling good. Wellness said, I can't stand all my Aquarius men I've known, including my father. My dad's an Aquarius. Esoteric said, I'll go hard and stop completely. Don't you hate that? Yeah, I'll be going hard. It'll be like for a good 2-3 weeks, and then something will happen, and then I'll just stop. But again, it's that damn Neptune transit. And I have another round coming next year. But usually when it's retrograde, it's going to be the worst. Not all the time. But then the next time it's going to be direct. The last time it hits up my Mercury. So some other screwy shit's going to happen. So I already know. But hopefully it won't be as bad as this time around. Cameron said, I feel like malefics in the 6th house force you to be active. Yes, because that 6th house is about fitness. Siobhan, so you feeling my pain about having an Aquarius dad? It's like, let me stop. I ain't gonna talk shit. Bellatane saying here, I think he may be Darksided. Rendezvous said, I had 10 cars, no luck with cars. I got my license in 2000. I can't keep a car long. I've had some bad luck with cars too, man. Let me tell you, one time, I might have told y'all this story before, but I'm definitely afraid of heights. And one time my car just broke down. This was years ago when I was like in my early 20s. One time my car just broke down on the middle of the bridge at the highest point of the bridge. The car just went dead. And of course, all these cars are like beeping and zooming past me and stuff. And the only thing I'm thinking about is somebody hitting me from the back and I'm going over the bridge. I'm like, of course, my life, the way I'm afraid of heights. And I would always be a little nervous driving across a bridge anyway. I happen to just get stuck on a bridge. I don't even think I had a cell phone back then. So thankfully, somebody had called the cops. And a cop came and he pushed my car all the way off the bridge. So cops sometimes are really good. Sometimes they're nice. They come in handy. But that was scary. I was on the, I think it was the Walt Whitman Bridge, which is a bridge that goes from Philly to Jersey. And that's a long ass bridge too. Yeah, I was so thankful to that cop. Another time, I remember I was driving and I fell asleep at the wheel. And I probably would have died if a cop didn't pull me over. So that's another time a cop saved my life because I was working overnight that time. And I had just started working overnight and I wasn't used to working overnight. So I'm driving home. I'm more tired than I think I am. And my ass, thankfully, I was pretty close to my house. And I'm driving. Next thing you know, I wake up because I'm hearing sirens. I'm seeing the flashing lights. And I'm like, I come to and I'm like, oh my God, what happened? I realized I was asleep. And the cop pulls me over and he's like, ma'am, you were speeding. So I was speeding on a residential street and I was asleep. I don't know if I admitted to the cop that I was asleep, but I don't think he gave me a ticket. I think he just gave me a warning and let me go. You said I'll marry a cop? I think cops are kind of sexy. That's my Capricorn thing. That's if they do their job well. A lot of cops are tall too, if you notice that. My Jupiter is retrograde, Cameron. And it's opposing Pluto. So yeah. And it's in the 3rd house. So yeah, I've been in some hairy situations in a car. Another time I got hit by a car and my car spinned around like 10 times. I thought I was going to die that day because she was going like, I swear she was going like 40, 45 miles an hour and she just hit my car on the side. My car is just spinning around. I end up in the passenger seat, still in the seatbelt. I remember both airbags came out. I was thrown all the way into the passenger seat. My coffee that I had spilled all over me. I only got bruised up. Thankfully, I didn't really get hurt, but I thought I was going to die that day. So I got Mars and Gemini. My Mars is retrograde, so I'm very prone to accidents. And that's why over the years, I started to be more careful driving. So I'm a very careful driver now. So I was like really pissed when that guy hit me because I'm like, I obey all the traffic rules and stuff. I'm like, I haven't been in a car accident in years, but again, that Neptune transit and the way it happened was so freaky. It was almost like there was no way I could avoid it. Well, I have tiger's eye. I carry a tiger's eye necklace in my car. Is hanging from my rear view mirror, and I carry wormswood. But obviously, that Neptune transit was that powerful that that didn't even help me. So when stuff like this happens, you have to ask yourself, okay, there was a reason why this happened. And again, like I said, maybe the universe wanted me to start walking for exercise. Or maybe, I had to put things in their proper perspective. I do have that Taurus South Node, which means that things will be taken away from me at times. But thankfully, I wasn't hurt this time around. Thankfully, I could still drive my car. It's just banged up on the side. And I'm waiting for this damn insurance company, Liberty Mutual, get at me. Because I called the lady this past week and she was like, oh, we should hear something by the end of the week. It's already Friday. So now I got to wait till Monday. So they're dragging their feet on this, but I'm hoping I can put my car in the shop by next week. because I'm starting to really miss my car. Right, Esoteric? These insurance companies, oh, they make me sick. And I already got the estimate for the car. So it's not even a lot of money that the insurance company is going to have to pay out for real, for real. But they're just dragging their feet. Caleb said, does Mercury in Pisces mean plane accidents? Not necessarily. Hey, Lisa. Oh, I was just talking about this guy that hit me recently in October. And he hit me on the 12th, October 12th. And that's sacrifice victimization number. And to think I was only going around the corner to get something to eat. But I'm like, hey, shit happens. I had a Neptune transit that same week. That Neptune transit became exact. Neptune square my Mercury. And it's at the 16th degree. The 16th degree can produce car accident or any type of accident. It can produce catastrophes, disasters, all that type of stuff. So contemplating Keith said, I spent out on black ice on the freeway and hit a deer on the freeway. Oh my God, did you get hurt? Contemplating Keith said, my uncle is a cop, very controlling, never admit when he's wrong. He's a Taurus. Oh, of course. A Taurus and a cop combined. Ew. Sunshine said, what about the deer, though? Yeah, did you get hurt with that deer situation? I know a deer will fuck your life up. I've been live. It's about to be 2 hours. And I'm not going to be on much longer because I got a lot of work to do and I got to wake up kind of early. Rendezvous said, I'm scared of cops and military dudes. I just got this thing for them, mainly because of the uniform, and that's my Capricorn energy. It's like that uniform just makes me like, But the people in the uniform, a lot of them suck. But there are some really good cops out there. Thank you, Indigo. I see you. You went ghost for a minute, I think. Oh, I got this chocolate mousse dessert. I can't wait to eat. You look like a little chocolate titty because it's a little mound. I wish I would get up and show you, but I don't feel like it. But it's a little mound and it's covered with chocolate. And inside it got some chocolate mousse. And then it got a little swirl of whipped cream on top. So I'm going to eat a chocolate titty for dessert. Hey, you would talk about, well, you can reach out to me on a private tip if you need my help. I could feel your energy. It does feel kind of down. But like I was saying, I was like, this energy in the air is kind of heavy anyway, but it is Scorpio season. But I do feel like we're on the verge of something. Something major is about to go down. I don't know if it's going to happen with that Saturn-Pluto conjunction next January, or if it's going to happen before this year is out. But what plans y'all got for Thanksgiving? Who's going to be doing the cooking this year? Bellatana said, I got a thing for cops. Who's doing the Thanksgiving cooking this year? For the past few years, I've been mainly like buying my turkey at a restaurant. And then I'll make the sides. Or sometimes I'll get the sides too, but then I'll make some other sides that I really like. Because I got to be extra. So usually I'll make macaroni and cheese. But I've been cooking for so long that I'm at the point now where I'm like, let somebody else make the turkey and the stuffing and stuff. But usually I'll make my own little stuffing on the side. So like the past 3 years, we've been getting our turkey from like a restaurant and like some of the other fixings, and then we'll make some of the sides. Let me see. When's the last time I made a turkey? That was probably like 3 years ago. My turkeys be coming out good. So Siobhan says, you always cook. Who else is cooking this year? Mark G said, are you pro-black? I used to be. Now I'm just pro-life. And I don't mean like that abortion thing. I'm pro-life. Like if you're a decent person and you're trying to make it through life And, you know, basically I look at you like you want what basically everybody else wants, you know, a comfy life, you want love, you know, you want to be able to be successful in some way, somehow. It's like I don't have a problem with you. Because I'm at the point where I'm looking at people on the soul level. And a lot of these pro-blacks, they just get ridiculous. I guess a lot of the pro-blacks on YouTube ruined it for me. But I used to be very like radical and like especially like during those Public Enemy days and stuff. But everybody was back then. They would wear the African medallions and stuff, and I had that. And no more IG likes. Oh, Adrian, all Creole and Cajun. I would love to have a Creole Cajun Thanksgiving. Can I come to your place? That must be good, especially like a Cajun flavored turkey. Justin said, I work in a restaurant. We get free turkeys every Thanksgiving. Oh, that's dope. That's right. 1 year. Matter of fact, I think it was 3 years ago. My daughter got a free turkey through her band because she was in the band, or she was in some type of school program. The lady was giving out free turkeys. I was like, ain't no shame in my game. I took the free turkey, cooked that up. It was the shit. I will take some free food now. Instagram taking like, you know, YouTube took some of my views from my TI video away this morning. I woke up to 500 views and then I refreshed my screen and it's down to like 350. So YouTube's taking views too. Baby Nemo said the last turkey that I had was so damn big, I was scared of that motherfucker. For real. Latika, you could go to my website and you'll be able to see a list of my prices. Because I got Venus and Libra. I don't really like discussing money like that all out in the open. Now, oh, Adrian said, yes, I can. Gumbo with all the fixings. Yes. Do you put red pepper in your stuffing? Okay, who calls it stuffing and who calls it dressing? Down south, don't they call it dressing? I know up north we call it more like stuffing. When I lived in the Northeast, it was stuffing. But then some people say that stuffing is what you put in the turkey. Dressing is what you have outside the turkey. Latikia said, I call it dressing. Dana said dressing. Adrian said we call it dressing in the South. I thought that was a Southern thing. Rendezvous says stuffing. Bellatana said dressing. Gabrielle says stuffing. Siobhan said dressing. Diana said stuffing. Contemplating Key said, I'm going to cook it, but it seems. YouTube is shady. Jules says stuffing definitely is inside the bird. D. Denique said dressing outside turkey. Ranisha said it's only stuffing when it's stuffed in the turkey. I thought they called it stuffing because when you eat it, it makes you feel stuffed. No, I'm just, I know stuffing means going into the turkey. But I love me some stuffing. That's one of my specialties to make. But I don't be putting all that extra shit in it because my kids don't like the extra shit. But like I would love like cranberry in the stuffing. I don't like those giblets. Anybody put the giblets in their stuffing? I don't like anything that tastes like liver. Cameron said, but you aren't supposed to eat that shit inside the turkey though. Then when you pull that turkey neck out, I can't help to think of something else. Y'all know what I mean about that turkey neck. Bellatina said, I remove all the inside organs. Yeah. My mom sometimes, when she wanted to be extra fancy, she would take those kidneys out of the turkey and then she would like put some seasonings and boil them and then chop them up and put them in the stuffing. I didn't like that. So that's like the giblet. They call it giblets, I think. Thank you, Cameron. I didn't want to say it. I'm trying to, but that's the first thing I think of when I see that turkey neck. Rathy says some eat all parts of the turkey. And then that part at the bottom, is that really the turkey's butt? You know what I mean? I cut that shit off. Y'all know what I mean? That little part that be hanging off the turkey, the backside. Is that the turkey's butt? Because I never leave that shit on. I'm like, that shit don't look right. I just cut that shit off. Turkey butt. And then turkey, that's an ugly ass bird. Oh, and you know a turkey will kick your ass too. Has anybody seen like a live turkey or been around live turkeys? They're no joke. They will attack you. That's why they be calling wild turkey. And they ugly as shit, but they sure taste good. Thank you, Indigo. Lovemore said chickens don't play either. Chickens fight too, cockfights. Will they fight to the death like dogs? Diana said, if roosters attack, you bet them big ass turkeys could do worse. Will chickens fight to the death like dogs will? Like, you know how people be having them dog fights? Oh, wow, they attach knives to the chicken's feet? That's terrible. Wellness said, yes, turkeys used to chase me in Belize. They are mean. Know what other birds mean? Those geese. Oh, my God, them big-ass geese that be in the parks, they're mean. They'll come after you, too. Lovemore said, chickens will fuck the fuck out of you. Rendezvous said, chickens fight to the death. Sunshine said, dog fights. What sick human being like that? Well, you know that, who was that? Michael Vick. He had a dog fighting ring, that football player. Yeah, I don't see what the allure is seeing animals go at it, fighting each other. HEH said, look at how some farms treat them. They're probably sick of humans by now. Justin said, ostriches are ugly too. Yeah, ostrich will chase you too. Cherry said, can you do another side to your Zodiac series? Your Darksided series was so on point. It's scary. Please, please. Well, what you want to see? Well, I got my Venus and Sagittarius video coming up. So that's on deck. I should be able to upload that, or I'll be able to finish it and upload it probably by Sunday. I love owls too, but I think owls will bring it to you too. I think sloths are cute, Bellatana. They're just dirty. Yeah, I'm going to be doing all the Venuses, but I'm doing them in order as they occur throughout the year. So right now, Venus is in Sagittarius, so I got to do Venus in Sagittarius. Contemplating key set dressing. Dana, here's my Cash App. And I'm starting to get a little heartburn. I swear it don't matter what I eat, I get heartburn. That's my karma, I guess, with my Taurus South Node. I probably ate too much rich foods in a past life. Now, whatever I eat, I get heartburn. Gabrielle said, did anybody see the video of the man cooking the ostriches? Oh, you're welcome, Dana. I didn't see that. Who be having ham on Thanksgiving? Ham and turkey. That's a bit overkill, but I know some people be having ham and turkey. Yes, I do, Letitia. So you can send me an email to inquire. Here's my email address. I love to teach. Right now I have 10 students. I could always fit more in too. So I got 10 students right now, but some of them are about to end. Some of them are about to complete their course. Some of my students are tarot students, but most of them are astrology students. But I love to teach. I love to teach. Love, love, love it. Oh, cool. I would love to have you. Thank you. Oh, I got some money. Hold up. What's your question, Dana? I love that sound from Cash App. That'd be music to my ears, you know, because I got that Capricorn energy. When I hear that, I'm like, oh, I get moist. Let me stop. Right, money. I ain't gonna lie. Thought of getting money does make me kind of moist. So you have a question, Dana? Cherry's Love said, what does Thanksgiving mean to you personally? Food. That's all it really means. Like, you could get a lot of food that day. Because I believe you should be thankful every day. Right, Siobhan? Sometimes all I gotta do is think about just like getting a bunch of money and I'm just pulling out my little toy. Let me right? Don't send me a dick pic. Send me some money. So Dana said, will I get into a relationship soon? I haven't met anyone yet. See, you're gonna make me start talking about relationships and how we have these high expectations that we shouldn't have. Because honestly, you need to look at relationships as part of your whole testing. A lot of relationships will bring some soul testing. And just think about it. We're all put here for a reason. Number one, we're put here to basically learn from our past life mistakes and to try to evolve. And we come into this life believing that we deserve to be in a relationship or that we deserve certain things in life. And then when we don't get them, we feel like our life is empty or whatever. I want us to really get away from the whole idea of feeling like you need to be in a relationship in order to feel fulfilled. Now, we all need somebody, but really enjoy the time that you're single and really get into yourself, really love yourself, because nobody's going to love yourself as much as you love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, you're going to attract the wrong type of person anyway. But let me get back to your question. So you said, will you get into a relationship soon? We're going to look between now and 2020. Oh, wait, I got the Page of Cups, girl. But this card is more so infatuation than a relationship. It's more about, you know, chatting with each other, messaging each other, maybe going to see each other every now and then, but you're probably still going to feel like it's not a full-fledged relationship, that you're not going to get exactly what you want. So he could probably drive you up close to that relationship, but not fully put it in park, if you know what I'm saying. So know that 2020 could be good for, like, you know, just meeting somebody new, going out on dates, having some good sex here and there, but don't expect much more than that. Don't expect a full-on commitment, but you will have somebody that is, you know, really feeling you in 2020. So that's better than nothing. So I would look forward to that. But let me look at 2021 for you. I'm just curious. And like I said, you know, have fun and make the most of life, whether you're in a relationship or not. And a lot of times when you get in that relationship, that's when a lot of negative things start happening anyway, because we have these high expectations, like I was saying, and nobody's ever going to really live up to all of our expectations. And then we start looking at the person like, oh, wait, girl. Oh, you're going to have yourself a nice man come 2021. So just be patient. You got the King of Wands. I'm picking up Leo vibes from this. Do you like Leo men? Where you at, Dana? So that real man, he gonna come into your life. So you are a Leo. Ooh. Leo and Leo, sometimes it could work. Sometimes I know a lot of Leo women don't like Leo men, but maybe he just has Venus and Leo, and Oh, but then he might be a Virgo or a Cancer. So you like all men. Good. Okay. So maybe Leo is the right one for you. Okay. Sophie Lee said he's not a Libra. We're not claiming him. So 2021 is your year for you to really meet that man that's going to like really sweep you off your feet. But again, don't have too high expectations when dealing with anybody. Because at the end of the day, you're never going to get exactly what you want. And sometimes, you know, we have such high expectations that when the person doesn't bring it like we want them to, we just throw the baby out with the bathwater and we be like, oh, he's not the one for me. When it's really like, okay, are you really being realistic? You're not going to get exactly what you want out of anybody. More, I mean, them Aquarius bitches bite, but I'm just saying, let me stop. I just got beef with Aquarius women and men because they never are in a submissive position with men. Most of them aren't. Like, most of them are going to run the men that they deal with. That's why they tend to get with yes men. And a lot of Aquarius women will get with men that are like Pisces or Cancer because they know they can run them. So it's like, of all the women, those Aquarius women have it the easiest. Because number one, they don't get their emotions all caught up in that shit. You know, they're approaching a relationship from their mind, not their heart. And in that respect, they tend to do very well with men, at least getting men to do their bidding and having men to submit to their will. Siobhan said Aquarius moon. Yeah. Sometimes it can apply to the moon and rising as well, unless your sun is more dominant. But what was I going to say? Oh, and then for those people nowadays, these modern kids that think that they're going to be in this polyamorous relationship. Hey, Dramacidal. They think they're going to be in this polyamorous relationship and everything's going to work out. Okay, who just sent me that? Oh, thank you, Latikia. What's your question? And then I think somebody else sent me something too. Hold on. 8. Latikia, Dana, and okay, that's Latikia and Dana. What's your question, Latikia? Thank you for your cash app. But like I was saying, so these polyamorous relationships, just think about it. Instead of dealing with 2 charts, you're dealing with 3 charts. And people wonder why that shit's not going to work out. Like, it's hard enough to bring 2 charts together and have that shit work out. But then when you add a 3rd chart, because that's what all we are, basically, we are our charts. So when you're adding a 3rd chart, that's a 3-chart synastry. And you really think like that's realistic that shit's going to work out? Hey, Ethereal, what's up? D. Denique said Aquarius women are cool, but the men always chant. Oh, man. Ethereal, you made me remember what I wanted to talk about. Oh, my God. Terrence Howard. And the reason why I thought about you with Terrence Howard is because you got that Uranus on your South Node, which can make you come from a past life of being very scientific, very high-minded, very intellectual, very smart, genius even. So I wanted to get into Terrence Howard because you know he's on this otherworldly shit. He's on this physics shit. I think he don't even want to be an actor anymore. He ain't trying to be Lucius Lyon no more. Wait a minute. Where's your question, Latikia? Oh, there you are. I would like to know if you could tell around about the amount of money I will get in my car accident settlement. If not, can I ask another question? I'll try. See, with tarot, you know, with a question like that, I'm really going to have to put my intuition to work. So you want to know around the amount that you're going to get in your car accident settlement. Can I ask, did you get hurt? Is there an injury involved? Right? But he ain't trying to be no pimp no more. He trying to be this scientist, this physicist. And I think he's in school to get his degree in physics or something like that. Where you at, Latikia? Was there an injury involved? Did you get injured? Okay, I got the Sun card, so you must be getting a substantial amount. Let me look at this. It looks like it's going to be at least in the double digits in terms of thousands. Or at least that could be what your lawyer is going after. Where you at? So you said 2 herniated discs in my neck and back issues. So it makes sense that it would be in the double digits in terms of thousands of dollars, like I said. It looks like you're going to get at least, and I'm talking, this is on the low end, so at least 50,000. Is that around the ballpark? Is that what the lawyers are telling you? Or they haven't came up with a figure yet? Where you at? Justice said Terrence Howard seems like a panty sniffer and not the fresh ones either. With that Sun card is showing that you could be made whole as a result of this settlement. And being made whole, of course, is, you getting your hands on a nice chunk of change where you can actually save some of that money towards your future, and where, you could really do some good things with it. But I might not take the first thing off, or you might want to hold out, especially you got them 2 herniated discs. What, Justin? What did I say before? Yes, that would be nice. Oh, but yeah, Terrence Howard. So Terrence Howard is all on this whole scientific tip. And I was watching a couple of his interviews, and some of what he was saying was making sense. But then other shit he was saying was letting me know that he is like off the wall. Now, I never looked at his chart, but just hearing him talk, I was like, yo, he got Mercury square Neptune. Sure enough, when I pulled his chart, he got Mercury square Neptune. Because like I said, some of what he was saying was making sense, but then he started talking gibberish. And you're not going to believe, I'm just going to read some of what because one of my clients sent me the link to his book. So you could find his book online. So he has this book, and it starts off by saying, does $1 times $1 equal $1? Or does $1 times $1 equal $2? That's the name of the book, I guess. And then he said, dear world, I have been told by many that the releasing of this truth may pose certain challenges in my life. For there are many institutions that the truth will be viewed as disruptive to their system of profit and gains. I want to live a happy and peaceful life, and I pray for longevity, not just for me, but for the entire species. This is so Pisces. Now that I would never harm myself, nor anyone else for that matter, nevertheless, if my life has to face certain challenges so that this planet can be saved, this is so Pisces, please do not let these trials that I may have to face be in vain, and pray for me as I'm praying for you. Now, in essence, this is what he's saying. This is when I knew he was bonkers, off the wall, crazy. He does have that shaky part. I got to get that shit down. But this is what he's saying. He's saying that 1 times 1 is not 1, it's 2. I'm like, did you skip 3rd grade or what? Like, he has no understanding of multiplication versus addition. I swear to, and all through this book, he's trying to prove that 1 times 1 equals 2 instead of 1. And I'm like, this is simple elementary school math. I'm like, 1 plus 1 equals 2 because you're adding 1 to 1. But if you say 1 times 1, you're saying 1 time. You get what I'm saying? And you get 1. So if you have 1 time, you get 1. If you have 1 2 times, you get 2. If you have 1 3 times, you get 3. That's simple math. But he can't comprehend that. And that's when I was like, he got Mercury square Neptune. He's trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. It's not going to work, Terrence. You making it, but this is the scary part. When I looked at the video where he was talking to this lady, and the lady that was interviewing her, I felt sorry for her because it looked like her brain was just oozing out her head with the mess that he was talking about. But there's so many people that are dumbed down nowadays that they were agreeing, like they were following him. They was like, oh my God, he's so smart. He's telling the truth, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yo, the dude is totally out of his mind. First of all, he got a Pisces sun. He got Mercury in Aquarius. That Mercury in Aquarius can make him into science and physics and all that. And I would even venture to say in a past life, he probably was a physicist or into physics and stuff, but it ain't working out in this lifetime for you, homie. So you need to stay in your fucking lane. But anyway, he got Mercury in Aquarius, but it's squared by Neptune and Scorpio. The man is far gone. So if a person has their sun in Pisces and Neptune square in their Mercury, there's a good chance they're going to be kind of cuckoo. What the heck? Oh, matter of fact, okay, let me tell you what degree is that, because I got his chart right here. Man, and when he was talking in that interview, he didn't say that man. How he say he like man? I can't get his voice down right. Where he at? Terrence Howard. So his Mercury's at the 20. Look at that. Mercury at the 28th degree of Aquarius. Neptune at the 28th degree of Scorpio. Neptune is retrograde. He has Sun opposition Pluto, which explains why he's going through this transformation at this time in his life. But that could result in him getting a lot of backlash for coming out with these stupid theories. Again, to reiterate, just to show you where this man's head's at, he's saying that 1 times 1 is not 1. He's saying it's actually 2 because he's using dollars as an example. And he's saying I have $1 and another $1, that's $2. So he thinks that 1 times 1 should be 2 when he's confusing addition with multiplication. And this is some shit that he should have learned back in elementary school, 2nd or 3rd grade. But Pisces does have the ability to go off on this crazy road, off on this crazy path where they don't make sense to nobody but themselves. And yeah, he's going to make sense to people that, all the people that was watching Empire and they love Lucius Lyons and stuff, they looking at him like he's this genius. And I'm feeling kind of sorry for him because he's in for a rude awakening. Oh, let's not get into Kanye too, because I'm suspicious about Kanye. But I'm not going to talk too greasy about him because I actually have a client/student of mine, and I'm actually so proud of her because she's in Kanye's choir. She got selected to be in Kanye's choir because she's that dope with the singing. So I'm kind of like hesitant to talk trash about Kanye's choir and his church and whatever and all that Jesus walks and stuff because she's in the choir. Matter of fact, I meant to reach out to her and ask her how she's doing with that whole gospel choir. But yeah, I'm suspicious. And I'm thinking that this is just a way for him to get money and notoriety and fame. Now, Kanye does have his sun conjoined to Jupiter, which can make him religious, can make him all about that Jesus. Siobhan said, tell her to leave that shit. But I feel like it's a stepping stone for her. Because if she can make it into that choir, she can make it pretty much, in a lot of places. So I'm happy for her in that respect. But I don't trust Kanye's intentions, especially considering who his wife is. And from what I heard, Kim Kardashian has come out and was like, there's nothing religious about what we're doing. It's a spiritual thing and all this type of stuff. Rendezvous said Kanye is playing. I feel the same way. I'm not buying this Jesus shit. He is too egotistical. And there's something in his chart. Where is it at? That showed me that, I think he got Moon and Pisces square and Sun and Jupiter, which can mean that he's not sincere. Where's this fool's chart at? I don't see him being sincere. I think he's hoping to get picked up by TBN. Y'all know what TBN is? The Trinity Broadcast Network. Once you hit that TBN status, it's all over. You're going to become a billionaire. You're going to become like, what's that guy, Joel Osteen and Creflo. He trying to become the next Creflo Dollar probably. So he could buy his private jet or have his congregation pay for his private jet. I do see him as a fraud. Wait, I still got to find his chart. And remember back in the day when he was like, I sold my soul to the devil. Remember he said that on stage? And he basically admitting that his mom was a sacrifice. Where is Kanye's chart? Here you go. That's what it is. Okay. So his moon in Pisces is squaring his sun and Jupiter. So he got moon in Pisces in the 9th house, squaring his sun and Jupiter. His sun is in the 12th. That alone, moon in Pisces squaring his 12th house sun in Gemini, that could make him not even be sincere on the religious tip. And then when you throw in that Jupiter, this is all for show and for money. Yes, tax exempt money. Oh, Justin Joel Osteen is a Pisces. Firewater said Joel Osteen has already booked Kanye at his church. See, Kanye about to get on TBN and he about to make billions of dollars. I won't be surprised if he ends up getting his own show on TBN. I think that's where he's headed. That's what he's going after. Because again, once you hit that TBN status, you become a billionaire. Especially somebody like Kanye West. People are falling all over him with this. I just, woo, my titty started tingling with that Cash App sound. Who sent me the Cash App? Mercedes. Thank you. Remember, you said for compatibility, Sun in Aquarius, Moon in Sag, with Sun in Gemini, Moon in Cat. So that Aquarius and the Gemini energy, that's compatible just in general. You said Moon in Sag, Moon in Cat. That's not too bad either. But you got to ask yourself where your Venuses are, where his sun lands in your chart, because that's very important. I should do a video on that alone. It's very important what house another person's sun ends up in. I really don't like, but let me pull a card for you to see if you're compatible. So are you the Aquarius, Mercedes? I didn't even see a Mercedes up in here. Where are you? Thank you for the Cash App. Oh, it's Esoteric Mommy. So his Venus is in Taurus, and you're the Aquarius. That's going to clash with that Aquarius energy, his Venus in Taurus. But let me see if it's going to work out. Are y'all compatible? Should you go down this road? I got the 9 of Wands, honey. I don't like that. That is a card where it say, be careful. Tread carefully into this situation. I take it you haven't known him long. And it makes sense because he got that, wait a minute. Yeah, he's a Gemini, so you got to be careful with those ones. I don't like that card for a relationship. Damn, you've been with him 5 years and you got the 9 of Wands card? So you've already been dealing with some of his mess already? Because that's what it could deal with too. Like you've already dealt with his mess. And now you just sticking in it, you waiting for more abuse. Like you putting up with a lot of his bullshit. And it can mean that he hasn't fully settled down with you and wanted to make a commitment with you, and you still waiting 5 years later. Dump him off at the next curb or at the next corner. Oh, you know that's a Moon in Sagittarius card. That 9 of Wands. Good night, Diana. Somebody said I want to flush. Firewater said I want to flush Kanye and the Kardashians down the toilet, right? They do irk my soul too. But what I was saying is where a person's sun falls in your chart is very important. Like typically, I don't like when another person's sun is in your first house. That's giving them too much power over you. And where you might start living for them. You might start changing up who you are for them. OG, who's OG? OG's that chick that her and Evelyn were getting, they have a lawsuit out. So who's suing who? So y'all are both Libra ascendants. No wonder why it ain't working out. Both of y'all got Aries on the 7th. So both of y'all could be kind of approaching a relationship from a very selfish perspective. Yes, Gemini do like to hear their men talk. So Evelyn is suing OG for defamation. What did OG say about Evelyn? I thought Evelyn was the bully in this situation. I don't like when a person's sun is typically, I'm saying there's always exceptions, but I don't like when a person's sun falls in the other person's first house. That's giving them too much control over your life, where you might start living basically mainly for them, like their life becomes your life, or vice versa, where it's like you might ask this person, do you even have a life of your own anymore? That can be that whole I can't live without you type of shit. And that whole I can't live without you. I know it be in love songs, but that's never a good approach to relationships when you're in one of those I can't live without you type of relationships. Ethereal said, been there, it is not good for real. Thank you, Ethereal, for confirming that. So HEH said, Evelyn says OG called her racist on social media. Oh, I remember that. And that has caused her to lose money. Oh my God. Evelyn is so petty. So is Evelyn going to be successful in this lawsuit? So it's a defamation suit. And watch out if the person's sun falls in your 8th house. Y'all should already know about that 8th house. Now, it can be good in some respects where it's like y'all bond really easily and quickly and the sex could be good and, you know, he could rock your world or she could rock your world. But then there's always that dark side to the 8th house. It could be very hard to get rid of that person once the relationship is over. This person could bring out the worst in you when their sun is in your 8th house. They could basically be your personal demons in the flesh. They could basically be your personal boogeyman. All right, so let's see if Evelyn is going to be successful with this defamation suit. Evelyn is petty as shit, but she'll talk trash about people all day. 4 of Pentacles. Look like she's going to get a little money from that. So it look like she's going to be somewhat successful with that suit. Wow. So I guess she has proof that her likes and stuff have gone down. Her money has gone down. So she's going to get some coins off of that. She wants a jury trial. That's going a little too far. All right, I'm ready to have my little chocolate mousse thing. My little chocolate titty. I also really don't like when a person's sun falls in your 4th house either, because they could be a bit too much up your ass, too much into your private affairs. This is especially because the other day, I think it was my student I was talking to, and we were just looking at her chart, and I was saying she had this Pisces ex, and that meant his sun fell into her 4th house. And I asked her, I was like, was he always snooping through your things? And she was like, yes, all the time. She was like, sometimes right in front of me. And I was like, yeah, that's about right. So yeah, a person's sun in the 4th house, number one, they're going to want to know everything about you from front to back. You know, all, you know, they're going to want to know what color panties you got on every day. I mean, it's just too close for comfort a lot of times. And a lot of times these can be people who won't have no problem moving in with you very quickly. And you know, a lot of times how that can go bad if you move in with somebody too quickly. Cameron said, what do you think about the 12th house, though? You never told me your opinion on that. So if you're talking about if somebody's sun falls in your 12th house, I always say it's going to be one or two things. And sometimes it could be both of these things with the same person. A lot of times, either you're going to pity the person or you're going to see them as pitiful. And sometimes it could be the same person where you see them as pitiful at some times, but then you pity them at other times. But on the positive end, this person could be very devoted to you. But on the negative end, they could expect you to put up with a lot. Also, some people whose sun falls in your 12th house, they could have actually been locked down before. So you could attract jailbirds with that type of hookup. What, Carrie, you said I just fell the fuck out. Why you say that? What, about the pitying part? Where either you going to pity them or you going to see them as pitiful. And sometimes it's a little of both. And sometimes it happens, you know, at different times. Like in the beginning, you might pity them because they got this sob story. Usually if a person's sun falls in your 12th house, they're coming with a sob story. And there's something in you that, you know, they're looking for sympathy. They're looking for somebody to save them. A lot of times they could be using you as their savior, or they could be using you as a source of refuge. So these could be the refugee type of relationships, or where, you know, again, you're playing the role of the savior for this person. Thank you, Kate. Or where they expect you to put up with a lot dealing with them. Like they could treat you like shit and they still expect you to be there for them no matter what. Sunshine said, I think I've experienced that before. I need to look up their chart. Like, I won't deal with another dude that got his son in my 12th house. I dealt with two of them like that. I won't deal with them again. Because my sympathy only goes so far. And somebody said secret. Well, you said secret enemies, Letitia, but that's another thing. Usually this person's going to have some secrets that's going to come out later. And then it's already going to be when you already got feelings for this person. And that could be when the pitiful, where you look at them like they're pitiful. Once those secrets come out, then it's like, damn, you already got your feelings involved. So it's like, what do you do now that you know this deep, dark secret that they have? If someone's sun is in your 9th house, this could be somebody that you put on a pedestal. Sometimes it could be good, especially if the two of you are very spiritual together or y'all like to travel together. But sometimes this person could expect you to put them on a pedestal, or you might just put them on a pedestal, period. Like this person could do no wrong. And, you know, they could develop a God complex dealing with you. Also, this person could be a long distance relationship, so they could live far away and you got to travel, or they got to travel to come see you. Sometimes it could be an interracial relationship with their son in your 9th house, or they could be of a different nationality. Now, I do like when a person's sun falls in your 2nd house, Magdalene, because number one, that means that they value you a lot and they're going to show you how much they value you. A lot of time, but then on a negative end, sometimes they could value you in terms of what you can do for them. So you got two types of scenarios with a person's sun falling in your 2nd house. Number one, these could be the people that cake you up, that buy you things. You know, some of them might be paying all your bills, all that. But then you could have another person that has their sun in your 2nd house and they're hitting up your pockets for money. They're looking at you as a source of financial support. Oh, I just got the tingles. This is much better than the super chat because the super chat don't make that cash noise, the coin noise. Okay, who's this? Y'all buying me dinner for tomorrow. Thank you. Wait a minute, who is it? Who? I just heard it. Hold on. Where is it at? Okay, who just sent me the Cash App? Because I don't see it coming up. There's a person's sun falling in your 5th house. That's not bad either, but it can be bad in certain ways. And of course, you got to take the aspects into account. But a lot of times, well, I can't say a lot of times. Yeah, that super chat takes 30%. A lot of times, I can't say a lot of times, but sometimes that can be the love of your life. It can be the person that really makes you, makes your heart skip a beat. It could be the person that puts it on you sexually. Could be the person that you end up having a child with or children with. Could be the person that, marriage is not in the future, but you really love this person and you know that you'll always love this person. It don't matter if y'all break up or not, that love is still always going to be there. But on the negative end, let's say that somebody has Sun conjoined to Pluto and it ends up in your 5th house. You could end up lacking free will while you're in that relationship because the 5th house is the house of free will. And it's the house of expression, how you express yourself. So let's say that somebody has Sun conjoined to Pluto in Sagittarius and it's ending up in your 5th house. Well, your free will could be usurped by that person. And next thing you know, you're changing up your style, you're changing up how you express yourself because this person is in your life now. And you might really feel like you can't even express yourself after a while without them having some say about it or without them criticizing you or whatever. And they might try to change you up in ways that you never imagined. And a lot of times for women, oh, thank you, Cameron. Oh, Cameron sent me a just because donation. I love you, Cameron. Thank you. But now, women, if y'all have a man's Sun in your 5th house and you're not trying to get pregnant by him, make sure you make him wrap that shit up or make sure you're on the pill or whatever. Because a lot of times, if a man's Sun falls in your 5th house, he will want to get you pregnant, or he just may get you pregnant accidentally. But yeah, Sun in the 6th, I really don't like that unless you're really looking for a helpmate, and some people really are. Some people are rather looking for a helpmate instead of a helper. Or if their Sun is in your 6th house, you could meet them at work, at your job, but they could end up being a piece of work with that Sun in your 6th house. Like they could be broken, and you might, they might be looking at you to fix them. Y'all just bought me dinner for tomorrow. Oh, wait, what should I eat tomorrow? Sun in the 7th house. Now, they could be a marriage partner or at least a long-term commitment. But you know what can happen with married partners and people who are in long-term commitments. Things can go sour and then they become what? Your enemy. And the 7th house deals with partnerships of all kinds, including enemies, which is why when you get married, yeah, you could easily end up becoming enemies through divorce or even before divorce because that 7th house is like that. It's, partnership of all kinds, including enemies. So that 7th house can be good in some ways because it will make you want to commit to that person. Wait a minute, some hot cock. No, you didn't. Damn. That sound all good. Some hot cock with a side of cherry Coke or something. But yeah, Sun in the 10th. If a person's Sun falls in your 10th house, they could act a little parental over you. Now they could try to basically dictate how your future is going to go. His future or her future might become your future, but it's not too bad. And again, you could end up meeting this person at work, like if their Sun falls in your 6th house, but you could feel like they're too much of an authority over you. And again, where your future is hanging in the balance because of them. So you might put your life on hold waiting for this person to commit to you or waiting for this person to marry you or whatever. Cherry Coke. I love me some cherry Coke with a side of hot cock. I have cherry Coke too. That's what I'm going to be drinking when I eat my little chocolate mousse dessert. Yeah, I think I will do a video on this. Oh, child, I didn't mention 11th house. Well, that 11th house should be kind of self-explanatory because you know that's the house of friendship. So when a person's sun falls in your 11th house, you might want to be with them, but they might keep you in the friend zone. Or I always say that 11th house often deals with what is not fully available to you or what seems far out of reach. So you can end up being with somebody, but they're already in relationship, they're already married. So that 11th house is very much like Aquarius, and Aquarius is the other woman, the other man all day. They play that role really well. So if a person's sun falls in your 11th house, you may not have them fully. They may not be fully available to you, or you may feel like commitment is far out of reach with this person, but you might be really good friends. So even when you have a falling out, y'all still going to be able to, you know, be nice to each other, be civil, all that type of stuff. Like you can have a lot of fun with a person whose sun falls in your 11th house. You just can't really expect too much from it. Baby Nemo said the best kind of dingling, not married but unavailable. Oh, wait, that's that. It's complicated shit. Cameron said it's the house of goals as well, so that makes a lot of sense. Yes, very much so. So it's like the person becomes a goal, but you know, Cameron, not all goals are achievable, and some of our goals are unrealistic. So it's like you need grounding with that 11th house. And a lot of times you're not going to have that grounding. Siobhan said, my baby daddy has his son in your 11th. Are y'all cool with each other despite all that's happened? Like, can y'all be civil and like basically, you know, co-parent successfully with that 11th house? Situation date. Have I ever had some situation date? I'm trying to think. Have I ever had some unavailable day? I'm really not the type that like goes after another woman's man though. So y'all aren't on good terms. But you got that South Node in Aquarius. That's probably why you got Libra in the 11th. Yeah, that's probably why. Because that Libra, because again, remember the flip side of Libra is enemies. Rathy Raff said, my son's dad's son falls into the 5th piece of shit. He just came into your life to get you pregnant. That's why I said that 5th house son, a lot of times their main mission, and they may not even realize that their main mission is to get you pregnant. Ethereal said, you know, you just ain't no. Maybe, yeah, you're right. Because a lot of times when you're with somebody, they could be with somebody else. You have no idea. Firewater said, I can't stand. But the fact that my son is in the 11th house, that's part of the reason why I don't have really good luck in the men department. That's part of the reason why I've never been married. Then when you want to throw the sun conjoined to Neptune up in there, I really have it bad. But I'm not one of those women that really be yearning for a relationship. I really could be alone. Yeah, I'm going to do a video on this. And that's my sun conjoined to Neptune and also my Capricorn energy enables me to be happy even though I'm alone, even though I'm single. And then when I start to like somebody, I tend to go overboard, which is never good. I don't even respect myself really when I'm like really feeling a guy like that, because I already know how it's going to end. If I keep it real with myself, I already know how it's going to end. It's going to end bad. They're going to drop me like a bad habit, and I'm going to do something bad to them or whatever. I'm going to retaliate in some way, because I'm not the type, and I might shed some tears, but then that warrior spirit within me comes up. I got Jupiter and Aries in my 3rd house. So I'm the type where it's like, I'm about that vigilante justice. So if you do me wrong, watch out. Don't let the tears fool you, because I'm not a weak bitch. Hey, Versatile Music Group, you always coming in late. Oh my God, we almost at 3 hours. But yeah, I got to get ready and go soon. I am laid back when I'm in a relationship, but I got a real like vindictive streak with me. So I feel like if you did me wrong, like if it was really some injustice going on, you're going to have to pay for it somehow, some way. That's just how I am. So I put my tears, like I don't waste my tears. I'm going to channel those tears into some action. Baby Nemo says, Sag or hopeless romantic. Yes, I definitely am. I'm a hopeless romantic. That's why, again, I don't really respect myself when I fall in love because I already know how it's going to end. And it's like, it's so crazy because I already know this shit's not real. It's this infatuation thing. It's this illusion thing. But when I'm in the thick of it, it feels so good that I'm like, let me just ride this out and see how far it's going to go. And then when I hit that roadblock, it's like, okay, then the bitch in me starts to come out. But then we end up being friends anyway or whatever. That's my son in the 11th house. A lot of my, well, I can't say a lot, but even after the dust settles, after, I done tap their ass a little bit, then they still end up wanting to be friends with me. Because I'm cool like that. Rathy said, love is hard when you have Venus in the what? In the 12th. Well, try having Venus in the 9th opposing your Chiron in the 3rd. Venus in the 12th, it really isn't that bad if you choose right, because you could end up getting with a partner that's going to take care of all your needs. It's going to treat you like a princess. Esoteric Mommy says, same. All my exes, they trying to be my friends after terrible breakups. So that could be, you might have some 11th house energy or energy in Aquarius or energy in Gemini. Like I got Mars in Gemini. So a lot of times the men that I get with, they're very like, I'll still be cool with her. And a lot of them still be hoping that they can, get some ass still. You got Mars and just see what I mean? Yup. Because they don't want to fully break ties with you. I can see Venus in the 6th house being hard. Ranisha said, that's me, 11th Venus in Aquarius. Yup. Rathy said, my Venus square moon in Uranus and Neptune. Hence why it's fucked up. Ranisha said, I'm like, go away, right? Rendezvous said, I don't want to be your friend. Ninja, you did me wrong. And that is kind of true with me. Like, once I'm over it, I'm pretty much over it. I'll still be nice to you and stuff, if I'm feeling it. But it ain't going to be like how it was before. Once I see your true colors, it's not going to be like how it was before. Heard it all before. You know you messed up. You got to go now. Say what you want. Say what you want. But your lies ain't working now. Look who's hurting now. See, I had to shut you down. I had to shut you down. Play the fool before. You know you messed up. That was my shit by Sunshine Anderson. Come on, late. You seem to barely reach the sun. Tapping my shoulder, thinking you gon' get you some. Smelling like some fragrance that I don't even wear. So if you want some loving, I suggest you go back there where you came from. That's my shit. Day to day with you, it's always something else. Working my nerve. God knows that I don't deserve. Yeah, what happened to her? Ethereal said I used to just SMH when that joint came on the club. Baby Nemo said I never look back, like getting some dirty panties out the hamper and putting them back on. Yuck. Crusty. Did I ever tell you that time I was working at when I was a social worker? Oh my God. There was this so I used to work at a homeless shelter, and once I like really started working, I like got a year under my belt. They sent me out to the satellite shelters. That's when my job got real sweet because I would only have to do like 3 hours of work and then I would go home and get like full-time pay. But anyway, one day, and the satellite shelter I was at, this was for dual diagnosed individuals. Dual diagnosed means they have a drug problem and they have a mental health issue. So I was dealing with some live ones up in there, but a lot of them were old and feeble. So I really didn't have any, you know, a lot of times it wasn't really any drama, but that was the job. That was the location where me and the Gemini dude, we got it in that one time. And then when we came out the office, those patients was all looking at us, the residents. They knew what was up. But anyway, so I get to work late one day, and this one lady, she was a crackhead, and she had some mental health issues. And I get into work, and the cops are already there. And she comes up to me, and she's all like, "Oh my God, you gotta save." Mind you, she ain't had no panties on, man. She had a shirt on and was naked from the waist down. And the funny part was the cops, like, they were trying to get her to get dressed and put her panties on, because the thing was, she was getting kicked out of shelter because you couldn't be actively using drugs and be in shelter. So she refused to budge, and the cops really didn't want to touch her. The cops really didn't want to touch her because she was dirty and all this stuff. So when she saw me come, because me and her, we developed this good rapport, because I'm cool with everybody. I don't care how crazy you are. I'm going to treat you with dignity and respect as long as you treat me that way. So she sees me, and then she runs all up to me. She's like, "Please save me." Mind you, she don't have no panties on. She just has a shirt on, and I'm cringing like, "Oh my God." And when the cops are like, "All right, come back here." They was like, "Okay, you got to get dressed." So she goes and gets her panties. I didn't see the panties at the time until she picked them up. When I tell you the crotch of those panties were like a doo-doo brown, I almost lost my lunch that day. I got so sick to my stomach. And you know, she threw them panties right at the cop. I know the cop wanted to quit his job that day. But yeah, that was one of the nasty stories that I had to deal with working in that shelter. But yeah, that was some crazy shit. Another guy, homeless guy, that I refused to work with. There was sometimes I'd be like, I can't deal with this. I swear, oh my God, if I'm not mistaken, he was a Scorpio. But they pulled this home. You know how you have homeless people that are lifetimers. They're lifers. They've been homeless on the street, like, basically since they were in their 20s. Well, he was like one of those guys. And for some reason, I guess because it was wintertime, they decided to pull his ass in off of the street. And I'm talking about, he was one of the ones that was like far gone. So a lot of them would be uncooperative because they all had to go through case management. And I was one of the case managers. And he was the type of dude that if he didn't like what you were saying, he would take a shit on himself. And they expected the case managers to clean him up. And I was like, oh no, because then they assigned him to my caseload. I was like, there's no way he's going to be my client. That's where I draw the line, because I have a weak stomach. I don't do well when it comes to shit and all that. Probably because my North Node's in Scorpio, which means I'm not really all that familiar with that Scorpio in this lifetime. So that's part of my North Node and Scorpio experience, is dealing with people like that. But I also dealt with like this dude that I had to case manage, this one crazy dude, and he was cross-hearted. He would always talk to me like this. And he had to go to jail for molesting his sister. No, he actually raped his sister, but he wasn't all there up in the head. But yeah, I didn't want to deal with him either, but I remember I had to. But I remember by the time I got done with him, he did get better. And I remember he was performing in the homeless shelter talent show, and he got some confidence, and I think he was doing better. But yeah, he was scary because he would just cross his eyes and be like, "You stop talking to me like that." He was this chubby little white dude. Gabrielle says Scorpios playing doo-doo. I've had some clients die on me. I had this one client that I really liked, and he ended up getting housing. Like, I was able to secure him housing because he was only like 19, and all he needed was a decent job. And he got out of shelter, got his own apartment, and then later on I find out he committed suicide. Oh man, that broke me up inside because I had so much high hopes for him. But yeah, that job was something else. And then how you would get harassed by the men, because they would all be lined up on the outside of the shelter. And then every time you would walk into work, That was when I had a little cute shape too going on. So every now, I would wear my tight jeans sometimes. That was not good because then those men would all be looking at you, cat calling, and then some of the shelter workers would be like this one dude, Tony. What was his name? Tony something. He was one of the facilities managers. He always be like, And then I remember there was this rumor because me and him would go to lunch sometimes that he was fucking me. And I was like, nah, I don't do old men like that. Then it came out after I left that shelter that he was robbing the place blind. Omarion's on my list because he has Venus and Sagittarius. Well, you know how it gets, Rendezvous. I'm 43 now, so I put on a few pounds. I mean, I can still, catch a dude and stuff, but I'm damn sure not where I used to be. But I can get it back. I will. Was he a Pisces? I can't remember. Siobhan said everybody would run to me when a homeless lady came to get her hair done. Yeah, esoteric. Like, even when I was thin, I was never super skinny. But there was a time when I wore a size 1. I do remember that. That was in my early 20s. That was when I was really cute and I could wear the little mini skirts and stuff and the booty shorts and all that. Now I'm just a little fluffy a little bit. But I'm not fat. Who will steal your man? Thank you, Gabrielle. Oh yeah, well, Marion, he's on my list for my Venus and Sagittarius video because he got Venus and Sag. We known each other for so long. You know that song? Just step into it and let it touch. We cannot move. So let it touch. That was my song. Yeah, I'm a thick chick. Yup, Omarion's a Scorpio, but he has Venus and Sagittarius. Well, that's the common denominator then, baby Nemo, because Omarion got Venus and Sag. That's why they're all in this entanglement. Yeah, what's up with this J Boog and Omarion's mother? Is that true? But guess what? I remember when I first saw Omarion's mother. What was it? Is it Love and Hip Hop that they're on? I remember I was looking at his mother. I was like, his mother looked shady as shit. And then I was thinking about what Omarion had to go through with Chris Stokes and stuff. And I bet you his mom was turning the other way. His mom was acting like that shit wasn't going on. But I wouldn't put it past the mom. I think Raspy is the same one too. I feel sorry for him. What's Raspy's sign again? I know I did a video on him, but I forget. Fizz is a Sag. Yeah, he's a Sag. Yup, his mom knew what was up. She looked shady as hell. Kiana said Aries are devils. How? No, but when you get on an Aries bad side, that devil can come out in them. Like when you get on their bad side, all bets are off. They could be straight up assholes. Actually, the term asshole, basically, they need to put Darksided Aries, on the definition because they are the assholes of the zodiac when they're on the dark side or when you're on their bad side. Y'all, I'm starting to get cramps, man. It ain't even supposed to be going down like that. I mean, this is ridiculous. Like, I should be in menopause by now. This is ridiculous. But that just shows you my masculine energy. And again, I know I was a man in my past life because I've never gotten used to this feminine shit. Every time it come on, I'd be like, this shit is ridiculous. Like, honestly, I want a voluntary hysterectomy. If I had the money, I'd probably get it done. For real, because this shit, I mean, I'm sick of this shit by now. Like, this is ridiculous. Sunshine said you won't hit menopause until 50. But I got 2 sisters that hit menopause in their early 40s. I think my mom did too. That's a shame. Why I gotta be cursed like this? But I'm like, fuck menopause. Where's the closest doctor where he could just take this shit out? Because I'm done. I know I'm not going to have any more kids. D. Denique said, I heard menopause cycles worse than having your period. Yup, that's what I heard too. Make you feel like you're going out of your mind. Cameron said, my mom hit it in her late 40s and she was so happy about it. Hell yeah. Tracism, you feel me on that? Tracism said, I never got used to being a woman thing either, right? I'm like, this is some bullshit. Dana said, my mom hit at 36. God damn, she's lucky. Kiana said, I know 8 Aries women. They're all the worst in relationships. That Aries energy can be real selfish. Be all about me, me, me. Oh, thanks, Versatile Music Group. Thank you. I appreciate that. But honestly, I'm glad I never got on no heroin or tried heroin before because that'd probably be my drug of choice during that time of the month. I'd be like, just knock me out. Sunshine said, what do you think of transgender people? I was studying somebody's chart. Well, I believe there are true transgender people, and then there's some that are just following this fad and this trend, and they think just because, this, it's being accepted now, okay, that's a viable option for me. But I believe there are some true transgender people who are just born that way, and they feel like they are born in the wrong body. But I do feel like, there are people who feel like, oh, it's a viable choice now. And then if I don't feel like being the other gender, I can always go back. Yeah, very well they could be in touch with their past life gender. Because sometimes I'd be like, all I need is a penis and I'd be a man. Because I'm definitely in touch with my masculine energy more so than my feminine. But then again, there's some things about me that are definitely more feminine. But, I very much relate to that masculine energy. Kichiwi said, young lady, you are nowhere near menopause at 43. But like I said, did you hear me when I said my sisters and my mom, they went into menopause in their early 40s and never looked back? Indigo said, I believe two-spirited people. Yeah, like sometimes that past life energy is so strong that that's where it's coming from. Like they're so in touch with their past life energy that they carried it over into this lifetime. I definitely believe that. Kachiwi said, if you do, just make sure you keep your ovaries. Firewater said, watch Dr. Morse. What's Dr. Morse about? Does he do hysterectomy? Or I'm like, just take that shit out. Throw it away. Cameron said, I feel very inclined towards feminine, but I definitely don't want to be a woman. That's that Cancer South. No, you being in touch with that feminine energy. Cash App, please, Gigi. Here's my cash. Yeah, we making the transition over to Cash App now because YouTube with the super chat, they be trying to take too much. Now y'all pay for my dinner. Somebody about to pay for my dessert. I'm like, hey. Like Bruce Jenner, I don't believe that Bruce Jenner is really that true transgender. I believe he's very much in touch with his feminine side, but I don't believe he's truly a transgender individual. Hey, Christine. Christine said, I believe I was a man too. I started menopause at 35. I'm 54 now. Nice. That's a nice early time to start. Oh, man, you're lucky. Right? He transitioned a little late for all that. Baby Nemo said, D. Denique, she calls herself the big dick bitch. That's what I'm saying. If I had a dick, I'd be unstoppable, y'all. That's all I need. That's the only thing I'm missing. Nobody can tell me nothing. Like, talk about even the playing field. Siobhan said, I'm still in transition. Rathy Rat said he never came across as feminine, right? I think he's just a cross-dresser. And I think he got it convoluted with the whole transgender thing. HCA said Chaz Bono is kind of sexy. I will say Chaz did a nice transition. Girl, I could go to Red Lobster tomorrow. Get some of them Cheddar Bay biscuits. Don't they have a shrimp festival going on right now? Oh, wait, that money. Look. I love that sound. Ka-ching, ka-ching. Okay, Gigi, what's your question? Thank you, Gigi. Oh, that's Nigeria. Oh, that is Gigi. Thank you, sweetie. She said that was just a gift. Wait a minute, where you at, Erica? No, I haven't been seeing your comments. Let me scroll back up. It be going so fast. You met Chaz Indigo? Wait a minute, Erica. Erica Parker. Miss Parker? Miss Parker. What movie is that from? I'm about to get off because my back is starting to kill me. Oh my God. I'm about to take some Advil PM and call it a night after I eat my chocolate mousse. I don't see you at all, Erica. Erica Kane. You know that song by Aaliyah? That's one of my... Oh, there you are. You said, I don't understand my stuff. I need you to help me to understand this stuff. What stuff? I love that song by Aaliyah. Erica Kane. She's Erica Kane. Back on the block, just at it again. She'll be your friend as long as you spend. I know she's torn whole families apart. She'll shoot a poison arrow straight through your heart. Oh, this is the day for Erica Kane. There's nothing to lose. Age gap relationships. It depends. Sometimes they really work out because of the aspects in the charts. Siobhan said people wanted to know what sun intercepted in the house means. Well, you could be dealing with some serious challenges if a person's sun is in one of your intercepted signs in a house. It could mean that this would be like, you know, a fated type of circumstance because those intercepted signs in the houses can produce some fated circumstances where, you know, you're going to have some hard lessons to learn. It's 8:20 where you're at, Cherry. But it doesn't always have to be a bad thing. So case in point, but then I did him wrong a little bit. So I was dating a guy back in the day. He was a Pisces, and I had Pisces intercepted in my second house. And he did a lot for me. He would give me money, but he was a big time gambler at the same time. And that was when I was a big time stoner back then. This was during my college days. I remember it was like the second day I was with him, he was like, "You don't ever gotta worry about buying weed with me." I was like, "Woo!" I was like, "Okay." And yeah, he told the truth. And I remember he would always because I remember when I was dealing with him, I think my car broke down, so he was always picking me up and taking me, back to work and all this stuff. So he did a lot for me with his son in my second house. But then the way I broke up with him was kind of fucked up, I have to admit. But them Pisces, hey Chris, thank you. Where are you at? I haven't seen you all night. You said for just because, but why? Why do I attract you? You already know the answer to that, Chris. Don't make me spank you. But wait, what was I saying? Oh, did I tell y'all why I broke up with the Pisces? Hey, Sarah. Yeah, this is another surviving Rabina story. I broke up with the Pisces because I knew I was going to that Wu-Tang Forever concert. So I told him straight up. But see, this is what, women can be like this with Pisces men, because Pisces men are very, what's the word? Pisces men just have this thing where it's like use me and abuse me type thing. So, but it was kind of my way to get back at him, because I remember he took a couple of cheap shots at me before. But once I knew, and he was the one who first told me, he was like, "Yo, Wu-Tang coming to Philly." He was like, "I know you want to get them tickets and all that stuff." And I remember I woke up early one morning. I stood in line to get the tickets, all that stuff. So once I got the tickets, I told him, I was like, "Look, we might as well break up now." Because I was like, when I go to that Wu-Tang concert, I might not be coming back. So that was the reason why. But at least I kept it real, because I could have still been in a relationship with him, went to the Wu-Tang concert, did whatever, and then still been with him. But I'm not that type of chick. So I was like, we might as well end this shit here, because I got a date. And his name is the R, the Z, and the A. I said bust down. Yes. Well, I'm from Jersey, but I used to live in Philly. And I used to work in Philly. And the Pisces dude was from Philly, but he was a big time gambler, man. He would lose a lot of money just shooting craps on the street. And he would lose money at the casinos. Child, ethereal bong bong. Oh, you gonna have me listen to that tonight? I just can't. Yes, he's a Cancer, and I got Cancer on my 7th house cusp. So of course I thought that was going to be my husband. I still haven't told y'all the full story, but I will say this one thing. I'm gonna leave y'all with this little tidbit of information. I'm probably gonna get off soon after that, because now y'all got me talking about the RZA, and I'm like, now y'all got me feeling some type of way. But this is very true to Cancer. I will tell you what he said to me, and this really threw me off. But this is so Cancer. He said, "So you're gonna have my baby next year?" Yes, he did say, yes, he did. And I remember I was all thrown off. I remember and me and my dumb self, I was so not even in my right mind that I couldn't come at him with some, nice comeback. And I was just like, huh? But that just show you he was feeling me at the time. Yes, honey. I could have been one of RZA baby mamas. I was this close. Yes, I was. Indigo said, Method Man and Red Man is my type. I got a story about Method Man too, but I'll leave that. I might tell y'all some other time. But yeah. Yeah, I used to be down with the woo. Got the tattoo. But yeah, I used to be a Wu-Tang fanatic for real. It wasn't just about the RZA. It was just about Wu-Tang, period. But RZA was the head. It was like Wu-Tang Florence, like Voltron, and RZA was the head. because RZA was the one, along with GZA. Why is my camera getting all fuzzy now? RZA was the one, along with GZA, that started the Wu-Tang Clan, and RZA was the producer. So those beats, I fell in love with RZA because of his beats, number one, but then also the way he looked, the way he talked, the way he walked. Oh my God. Don't get me started. Oh my God. You want to talk about a night to remember? A night where you talking about your dreams come true? That type of shit. But I wrote a story about it and everything. You know what? I couldn't even get through the first episode, Denique. You know why? Because I know him. I know him personally. So when I saw that shit, I was like, this nigga ain't the RZA. I was like, first of all, he don't look nothing like him. He didn't have the swag that RZA has. This dude that's playing the RZA seem all uptight and shit. And I'm like, nah, that's not how the RZA is. First of all, my first impression of him, because I talk about putting him on a pedestal. Before I met him, I put him on this pedestal like he was this guy on Mount Olympus. But then my first thought when I first met him, I was like, this motherfucker arrogant as shit. I didn't realize how arrogant he would be. But then he showed me that Cancer sensitive side. Oh my God. But see, I'm about to reveal too many details. So let me get ready and go to bed. And it's already past midnight. That's the guy from Moonlight that played. The actor that plays RZA is gay. See, I knew something was off with that boy. I was like, that is not how RZA acts. That's not how he talks. That's not how he walks. None of that. Like, they make him seem really passive in that show, and RZA ain't there's nothing passive about him. He's loud. He's like very arrogant, but nice at the same time. And that's one thing I'll say about all the Woods. Well, I met all of them except for ODB. I never met ODB. The only one that's the asshole out the group is You God. He was but You God is a fucking hater. So he just hates on everybody. But he the only one that really didn't show me love. But the rest of them, cool as shit. They are some good people. They are nice. All the Method Man, Ghostface, they are all nice. They are all cool people. So I don't have nothing bad to say about them except for You God, that motherfucker. But yeah, You God has always been a hater because he never really got as much shine as the rest of them. And Master Killer, that's my nigga right there. He was the one who gave me some advice on how to approach RZA. Yeah, Rendezvous, you made it sound bad. You said You God is the light-skinned short one. When they said You God won't even on the show. Damn, right? He is Scorpio. Yes, and he's a hater. Ethereal said, I'd be mad if I was You God too. He 2 feet tall around giants. And I took a picture of him when I was at this club one time because I seen them on a few occasions. And sure enough, in the picture, he ain't smiling. He got this attitude. He ain't even looking in the camera. You think he's sexy with them big lips? Wait a minute. You God is suing RZA? Oh, Gigi, where you at? Thank you. And then I'm about to get off because my back is killing me. Gigi, where you at? I'm trying to find your question. There you are. Wait a minute, Gigi. Gigi said, wait a minute. Okay, let me go back up. Gigi said, is starting a lifestyle blog a good idea to generate income? I love questions like this. Is starting a lifestyle blog a good idea to generate more income? I like that. I like that. Girl, get comfortable. We're going to do some things you never done before. Maybe not the usual. Tonight we getting something. Wait a minute, how he say? Tonight we doing something unpredictable. Oh, with you, baby, baby. Baby, 1 + 1 makes 2 when you're with me. Empress, you can't get no better than this. This is a lifestyle blog all day. Look how she's chilling. This is lifestyle all day. Life and style. Yes. Look at that. That's a definite yes, Gigi. I love it. So, girl, get comfortable. See what I mean? You see, I was singing that song, Girl, Get Comfortable. That's what she's We're gonna do something you never done before. Whoa, whoa. Right? That's what's up. Empress. She's the lifestyle expert. For real. Baby. Baby, 1 + 1 make 2 when you're with me. Gigi, did you see my answer? You got the Empress. That's a yes. If I were you, I would say yes. Speak, Lord. Speak, Lord. What movie is that from? Speak to me. Speak, Lord. Wait a minute, what is all this? Erica saying sun sign in Virgo, moon is in Aquarius. She's speaking her whole chart. Mercury in Libra, Venus in Leo, Mars in Sagittarius, Jupiter in Taurus. Jesus, Erica. So he's a Friday the 13th. I like Jamie Foxx. Thank you, Christine. That's color purple. Speak, Lord. I don't even got time for that right now, HTH, unless you want to send me a little donation. Speak to me. All my life I had to fight. That's what I'm saying. I had to fight my daddy. I had to fight my brothers and uncles and cousins. But what she said, but I never thought I had to fight in my own house. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you do the damn thing, Gigi. Can't sleep at night. And you're wondering why. Maybe God is trying to tell you something. You better stop with this hot comment. You are so welcome, Gigi. Well, you can't sleep at night. Can't sleep at night. You sure is ugly. That's some shit I would have said if I was drunk. Cause she was hating on Silly anyway, because Silly was living with Mr. and stuff. But then remember when Silly called her on and she was like, she just brushed her off. Suge was a Scorpio all day. She just brushed her off. She was like, girl, that was nothing but the salt and sugar. I'm like, Suge, you ain't right. Firewater said, I'll send you a donation. What's up with Scorpio North Nodes? I've been asking all night. What about them? You trying to date one? Well, just think, with that Scorpio North Node, your life has to be very scorpionic in some ways. It could be through your career. It could be through your relationships. It could be through, fitness. Maybe you work out all the time. Maybe that's part, like if you got the Scorpio North Node in the 6th house, maybe part of your calling is to be a personal trainer, or, to be a big time fitness buff, or maybe even a nutritionist. How did he die? On top of me. She looked like she kind of liked saying that. Like that turned her on or something. Or actually it gave her some confidence. She like, I got a good ass shot. I could kill dudes with my shit. Like, how would you feel if some dude died on top of you like that? Would you be like, damn, my shit is that good? Or would you be like, damn? Southern Alien, you said I sent you a donation about a week ago, but you didn't get to my question. What's your question, Southern? Y'all should have took my lunar nodal workshop, man. Y'all want to know what these nodes are about? Oh, these cramps is really rising up. You know what? A hot cock will settle them cramps down. Y'all, I know y'all women have heard about that. Like, that's one of the advices they give. If you got really bad cramps, you know, get some of that hot cock. It's kind of like a hot water bottle. But, you know, some men ain't down with, you know, surfing the crimson wave and shit. Some men don't mind. Like the Virgos, a lot of times they don't mind. Even though Virgo is about cleanliness and stuff, a lot of times them Virgos don't mind. Taurus man ain't having it. They get scared. Scorpio usually won't mind. Leo think they're too good to be getting a little blood on their dick and shit. Adrian said, I would love to kill a man with my vajayjay. Indigo said, I need to pass out hot cocks for everyone. Hot cocks, everyone. All right, Southern Alien said, do you think all this Capricorn and Scorpio has something to do with my financial problems? Shoot, Capricorn and Scorpio mix, you should be doing well financially. So there must be you must got some planets in your chart that's fucking up your money sector. What sign is your Venus in? And what's your second house looking like? Because that combination, Capricorn and Scorpio, usually does very well financially. That's if you're willing to work hard. Because that Capricorn, a lot of times with Capricorn, you're not going to get shit just for free or just by, you know, putting in, doing some half-ass work. You really got to, you know, work hard. Erica said, okay, if you see this, my birthday is September 21st, and I was born 5:54 a.m. in Memphis, Tennessee. I wanted you to help me understand my birth chart. Also, my boyfriend. Well, I don't have time to be looking at your whole birth chart, but you can either catch me on the next live stream and make a donation, and I can look at your chart real quick, or you could go to my website and order a reading. Even if you just order a tarot reading, I could talk a little bit about, you know, what I see in your chart. But it sounds like to me you want a whole natal reading. I know I do that, but I don't have time to do that during this live because I'm about to get off and I'm feeling these cramps and I might end up saying some real fucked up shit about your chart. No, let me stop. I'm just playing. Gigi said I can't fuck during my period, not the first 3 days. Yeah, that's when it be all thick and nasty. Baby Nemo said, okay, good night, chat. Get to that chocolate tit and cherry coke. That's what I'm saying. I'm about to put that cherry coke in the freezer. All right, I'm about to head out. But wait a minute, where are you at, Alien? Southern Alien. So you said it's in Capricorn, Cancer in your second house. So you got Capricorn in the 8th house, Cancer in your second house. Well, Cancer can be kind of hard with making money because if you're not feeling that whole source of income, you're not going to really make it far with that Cancer energy in your second house. Like you really got to do something that's personally meaningful to you in order to make money. So you got to find something where you can make good money, but where it means a lot to you at the same time, where it's personally meaningful. Also, saving money is very important when you got Cancer in the second. So you can't be one of those spenders that's just free spending like that. You really got to get into the habit of saving money. And Cancer is usually good with saving money. What sign is your moon in? And where are you at? Where are you at? I'm trying to. Erica, if you have specific questions about your chart, like if you don't want to get a full natal reading and you have specific questions about your chart, just check me out during the next live stream and you can make a little donation and I can answer your questions about that. What sign is your moon, Alien? So you got that Gemini North Node, Sagittarius South Node. Sagittarius South Node isn't that bad, but it can make you spoiled. It can make you not feel like putting in hard work. I know that. So you got Moon in Virgo, which means you got to be very frugal. In that moon in Virgo, ruling the second house, you might often be in jobs that pay a meager wage with that moon in Virgo until you start really saying, you know what you really need to do is get a vocation with that moon in Virgo ruling your second house. Oh, shit. Who's that? Chris, is that you again? You were so scary, Chris. That's that creepy Scorpio shit. He said, I'm in your fireplace. When you came rolling out. Well, thank you, Chris. But what was I saying? Where you at? Moon in Virgo, Southern Alien. Yeah, you need to get a trade. That HVAC, plumbing, maybe being an electrician, being a barber, something. Like you got to get some type of actual trade and vocation so you could be making some good money. I don't know if I want to do these top 10 movies for the seasons anymore because I only be getting like 400 views on them. I don't think enough people like those videos. That's why I stopped doing them. I need motivation. You can be my motivation. Thank you, HTAs. Go, 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 go. You can't stop there. It is getting late, and I gotta do a couple of readings in the morning. Music still playing in the background. You're almost there. Erica, what comment? You didn't hear what I said? I said if you have a specific question, next time, make a little, you could be a $5 donation, but you got to have a specific question about your chart. If you want me to read your whole chart, you would need to order a natal reading or even like a phone reading. Even 30 minutes, I could go over your chart real quick. Your hot cock's burning. Cocks don't burn in the kitchen. Balls don't burn on the grill. Thank you, Firewater. Long as we're here, you and me, baby, ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, I'm going to get ready to say my goodbyes. We still got 80 people up in here. That's what's up. 98 likes. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for joining me on this live stream. I know it was more of the laid back ones and stuff like that, but next time I'll probably be more amped, probably be singing more. These nuts. There you go. So the alien said, when I get mine's red, I want all the, oh, child, you don't got to worry about that. So the alien, I don't hold back. Sometimes I give too much. Firewater said, I've been watching the series over and over. Thank you. And share it with your friends and your mama and your aunts and all that. For real. Thank you so much. All right, I'm about to go. I'm about to eat my dessert, even though it's too late, but oh well, maybe it'll make me feel better. I'm about to pop some PMs and call it a night. So again, love you all. Thank you for joining me during this live stream. And last but not least, let's just do a final recap. For those who believe that T.I. is a dark-sided Libra who's going way too far with his daughter, press 1. If you believe that he's just an overly concerned father that's doing the best to try to protect his daughter from this harsh, cold world and these big dicks out here, press 2. I'm pressing 1 too, because I think he's a dark-sided Libra at this point. No, the jury is out. Most people are saying 1. I haven't seen a 2 yet. Sarah said, just like my September 25th. I didn't realize he was born on the 25. But I remember you saying that. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. Them 25s can cross boundaries. Good night, Southern Alien. Yup. Love you too, Cherry. Yup. So the jury is out. Most, if not all of y'all are saying that, yes, T.I. is a dark-sided Libra, so it's official. He's over in the dark-sided Libra camp, along with, who else we got that's a dark-sided Libra? Who is he joining? I can't think right now in terms of Libra. But real quick, who else is a dark-sided Libra that, you know, he's joining sides with? Good night, Gabrielle. Why can't I think of any? Oh, Lil Wayne. Isn't Lil Wayne a Libra? You could throw him in there with the dark-sided shit. You think Snoop Dogg is a dark-sided Libra? I'm throwing Will Smith in there too. I don't care how, you know, he be trying to act like he's this great guy and family man and all that. Cardi B, she's dark-sided, yeah. Snoop Dogg, you think he's dark? Oh, yeah, Kim Kardashian, yeah, very dark-sided. Very dark-sided. He sure got that Venus and Scorpio, yup. Yup. So, yeah, they all part of the dark-sided clique. Doing the damn thing. Love you too, Gigi. Have a good night. Young Jeezy is Libra too. He's a dark side Libra. Keisha Cole is a bitch. Yeah, let's throw her in on the dark side of Libra in too. Yeah, I don't. She always has this attitude. I'm like, bitch, what is up your ass? You are so welcome, Gigi. Good luck to you. Oh, Connect, I'm just seeing you. Yes, we're getting ready to close out. Yeah. Yeah, that Keisha Cole, she need an attitude adjustment. I remember somebody checked her too during a interview. You heard Nia Long's a bitch? She's a Scorpio. Amber Rose, yeah, throw her in on the dark side of Libra side too. So now they got T.I. I don't know who Tokyo Tony is. Yep. All right. Sorry you missed it, Connect, but you know you could catch the replay. But I'm out. I'm gonna have myself a good night. Y'all take care. Be safe during this Mercury retrograde, and I'll be back soon. Stay tuned because I'll be posting the Venus and Sagittarius video soon in the next couple of days. Okay. All right. Y'all take care. Bye.